birds are in blue and white. Brian Barry Murphy's, or as Danny would call him, BBM's Cardiff City. Blue shirts, white numbers on the back, white shorts and blue socks. And you know they are going to give this a right good go. Playing for a place in the League Cup semi-finals. 2 more quarter-finals tomorrow night. Both of them you'll be able to hear on the BBC network. And then next Tuesday night, it is Arsenal against Crystal Palace. The Cardiff team then, Nathan Trott, on loan from FC Copenhagen in goal, former West Ham player. Perry Ng at right back. Joel Bagan, the Irishman, who scored the late winner against Doncaster at the weekend. He's at left back. Boos, jeers and whistles for the Chelsea players as they get the game underway. Jorgensen's clearance, the goalkeeper, is knocked out of play for an early Chelsea throw in an attacking position on the left. Dylan Lawler, the 19-year-old Welsh international, alongside Callum Chambers, former Arsenal defender. They're the 2 centre-backs. Ryan Wintle and David Turnbull in central midfield. Kean Ashford, Joel Colwell and Isaac Davis in support of Callum Robinson as the main striker, with the Dane, Yusuf Salak, who's the regular starter at centre-forward, sitting on the bench for Cardiff. But you said to me, Danny, on the drive up here today when you and I were chatting on the phone, that actually Brian Barry Murphy doesn't mind rotating the team, a bit like Enzo Maresca. He will change. Yeah, he will do that. I was here on the weekend, that last minute or 99th minute winner that they got against Doncaster. Fantastic game, 4-3, Cardiff won it and made a triple substitution at half times. He wasn't happy with what he saw from his team and does like to rotate, will even rotate kind of the back 4 as well, which you don't see a lot of managers do. So very much a kind of modern day thinking manager where it's all about the squad, not just the starting 11.
Tosin getting booed there as he drives the ball forward for Chelsea down the left-hand side. That's a foul from Gittins. That was a shove on Ng. So Cardiff will get a free kick inside their own half. Chelsea then 11 changes from the win over Everton. Esteval not involved at all tonight, nor is Mark Cucurella. He's suspended, and Cole Palmer, they're going gently with him on his way back from the groin injury. Philip Jorgensen in goal. Achimpong, Tosin, Badiashile and Hato is the back 4, as we've mentioned. Moises Caicedo starts this one. He's been suspended in the Premier League recently, alongside Andre Santos in central midfield. Tyreek George, Facundo Bonanotte and Jamie Gittins, with Mark Guiu as the Chelsea striker. And Chelsea have the ball and they're playing it back into their own half with Tosin under a bit of pressure. Lofts it high in the air, again aiming at Gittins. He leaps high with Ng. Ng has stayed down hurt. The 2 clashed in mid-air as they jumped for the ball. Ng fell heavily, and the referee has stopped the game. Has he given a free kick to Cardiff, or are we going to restart with a drop ball? That just looked like 2 players jumping, clashing in mid-air, Danny. Yeah, I don't think. It was more the landing, I think, for Ng, just holding that right shoulder as he comes down. Don't think the referee, Tony Harrington, gave the foul. I think he will possibly restart play with a drop ball. But, yeah, I mean, it's a fair challenge. Both players going for the ball, just lands heavily on that right shoulder. This atmosphere must have been what it was like for you playing in front of a packed Ninian Park back in the day. Yeah, certainly brings back memories, and all is merry and well with this Cardiff City team. And I mean, I have to say, it's been a long time coming. Riding high, top of League One, scoring lots of goals, in really good form in a minute, but a tough assignment this evening. Already taken out Premier League opposition in this competition in the form of Burnley, so that will give them a lot of confidence going into this game, but a tough assignment for them tonight. That is a Tyreek George foul on Joel Bagan, the left back for Cardiff. That got a massive roar when the decision was given, so that'll be a free kick for Cardiff. 3 minutes in, Cardiff City of League One 0, Chelsea 0. Chelsea's last defeat against lower league opposition, or the last time they were knocked out of a domestic cup competition by lower league opposition, was famously at Stamford Bridge back in 2015 when Phil Parkinson Bradford beat them by 4-2. 33 ties against lower league opposition since then in the FA Cup and League Cup, and they've not been knocked out. Let's see what happens tonight. The ball has come skidding through to the Cardiff keeper Nathan Trott. He's in pink away to our left-hand side, has the ball under the studs of his left boot, passes it to 19-year-old Lawler. It's played into midfield. Cardiff sweep it up to the halfway line. Robinson takes control, passes back, threaded through here to Ashford, who cut in from the right-hand side. First touch let him down, so Chelsea win the ball back. Both managers already right out on the edge of the pitch, and 2 managers actually who know each other well. because Barry Murphy initially replaced Enzo Maresca at Manchester City in charge of the elite development squad there, and then Enzo Maresca came back and they worked together at City under Pep Guardiola, and I know that they're both hugely respectful of each other's work ever since they've gone their separate ways. The ball is loose inside the Cardiff half. Bagan looks to go in for a tackle. Buonanotte gets there first. He's forced out to the right. Strong from Callum Chambers. Knocks him to the floor with a shoulder barge. That'll be a throw-in for Chelsea on the right. It's 0-0.
Two managers with very similar traits in terms of how they like their team to play football, in terms of how they kind of manage their squad. I think you've seen already Cardiff City in possession, no fear of the opposition, looking to play out from the back. Chelsea in possession here, though.
Yeah, here's Gittins on the move, dribbling from left to right. He's going to let fly from range. That's blocked at close range. Big roar from the Cardiff fans as another shot is blocked. And then Caicedo there is running with 21-year-old Kian Ashford. And Ashford just keeps Caicedo away from the ball, which means it's going to go out for a Cardiff City throw. And I think that's the thing that, as Rob Phillips was saying and Danny was saying before the game, that these Cardiff City fans are so excited about as well. So much young Welsh talent in this Cardiff City squad. Ashford and Joel Colwill for two. Ruben Colwill obviously is out injured at the moment. Here is Joel Colwill, his younger brother, passing the ball to Ashford on the right. Ashford, short, stocky, speedy figure, wriggles his way down the right-hand touchline, keeps going, little step over. Hatto tries to stick with him. Colwill makes the run on the outside, has a chance to get the cross in. Robinson climbs high, no power on the header, loops up in the air, and it's caught by Philip Jorgensen. But good attack from Cardiff.
Yeah, fantastic play. Kian Ashford down this right-hand side. Great kind of body strength initially to hold off Howe, and he just gets that underlapping run from Joel Colwill, just stands the ball up to that far post area, and it's Callum Robinson, who's unmarked, but he's just on the stretch there, can't get over the header, can't get the purchase, the direction on. It's comfortable for Jorgensen in the end, but really bright attack from Cardiff City down this near right-hand side.
Callum Robinson, the 30-year-old Irishman, fourth season at Cardiff, having joined from West Bromwich Albion. Here's the 19-year-old Lawler, couple of good touches there. Colwill is tripped by Caicedo. Certainly got the better of his more experienced opponent there. He saw the ball coming, he just rolled him and turned, waiting for the challenge, won the free kick, and then Lawler knocks it straight into Buonanotte, who wasn't the required 10 yards, and you could see a couple of Cardiff players wondering whether he might get booked for that, but players continue. Cardiff still have the ball. They've come back to their goalkeeper, Trott with the outside of his left boot, just pokes it forward, and Cardiff have a chance to bring the ball forward from deep, and Callum Chambers quite happy to do that, striding his way across the halfway line. It goes on to the left to Bagan, back into midfield, then young Isaac Davis is involved. It's passed back to the halfway line, and as Danny was saying, and as he promised me, Cardiff playing some football as they like to do in League One and taking it to their loftier opponents here in this EFL Cup quarter-final. Pass to the right, finds Ashford. Ashford back to Colwill. Colwill takes his time, rolls this pass back to Ryan Wintle in central midfield. Happy to give it to the centre-back Lawler. Lawler comes creeping forward with the ball at his feet. Finds Chambers on his left-hand side. Chambers slides that pass down the left for Bagan. Bagan's trying to get round Achimpong. Cross into the near post, headed away by Tosin. Far out to that right. Flicked back by Tyreek George to Achimpong, who takes a touch and then launches the ball into the South Wales night sky. Guiu barges into Chambers, and the throw-in goes to Cardiff. Danny Gabidon.
This game really well, Cardiff City, full of confidence, choking the ball around, and sometimes when you come up against high-level opposition, you do get a bit more space and time to play. They respect you a little bit more, but the difference is, if you then make a mistake in a dangerous area, then the quality that the higher opposition has normally punishes you a little bit more than what you see in League One. But really confident start to the game from Cardiff City, look very comfortable.
5 Live and BBC Sounds, live in the Cardiff City Stadium. Tomorrow night, we start with commentary on Manchester City against Brentford, which kicks off at 7:30 in the League Cup quarter-finals. Newcastle-Fulham gets underway at 8:15. Commentary of that one will start on Sports Extra. We'll finish on 5 Live. And then Arsenal-Crystal Palace, the final League Cup quarter-final, is played next Tuesday. We'll have full commentary on that as well. Crystal Palace, of course, in Europa Conference League action this week which is why that game can't fit in with these other ones. Pass from Santos up towards Guiu, couldn't quite bring it under control on the edge of the Cardiff box. Cardiff try and play out, they've given the ball away. Here's Acheampong, who's well forward in the Chelsea attack. Caicedo hits a low pass quickly out to Gittins. Gittins plays back to Badiashile, little 1-2 with Caicedo. Speedy, low pass to Tosin, across to Acheampong. This time it's Tyreek George, who's scored a couple of goals already in this competition, weaving his way through the Cardiff midfield. Guiu plays it back here to Buonanotte. Buonanotte finds Guiu, and back it comes to Badiashile, who works the ball to the left-hand side. Gittins gets a run at Ng here, into the Cardiff penalty area, a little step over, ball got away from him, into the legs of the Cardiff defender. Chelsea win their first corner of the evening. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0.
Well, the first real passage of play we've seen from Chelsea, where they've been able to control possession and kind of pen Cardiff. Chance there.
Yeah, corner taken short. Badiashile hits the shot from the edge of the box. I didn't interrupt you there, Danny, because I saw it was Badiashile. This is a little bit unfair. I had a feeling it might end up where it did.
Yeah, defenders finish a little bit there, just catching Cardiff City out. Chelsea taking the quick corner was well worked, actually, but I'm not sure if that's one off the training ground, because you wouldn't expect Badiashile to be on the edge of the 18-yard box, taking that strike on, just leans back on the strike, blazes it over the bar. Yeah,
that is a little unfair. He has scored for Chelsea before, but that was a left-footed attempt from the edge of the penalty area, and it was over the crossbar. Here come Cardiff again down the left. Ball played into midfield to Turnbull. Back it comes to the halfway line. There's Lawler. Lawler across to Ng, then Callum Chambers. In fact, that's Wintle in between the two centre-backs there, controlling operations for Cardiff. Enzo Maresca very close to play now outside the technical area, just trying to order this young team around and get them in their defensive shape.
Is there any point in the technical area, maybe? I never see a manager stand in it anymore.
No, and they always get told and then eventually creep back and creep out again. And being a fourth official is just a thankless task. It is. It's the worst of all, I think.
Get bashed, didn't you?
You do, exactly. You just got to take an absolute ear bashing for 90 minutes or so. But Thomas Kirk is avoiding that at the moment. And Cardiff happily keeping possession here inside the Chelsea half. Now this is Chambers. Purposeful pass to the left. Isaac Davis, heavy challenge on him. Referee says play on. Shot comes in towards Jorgensen, who pats it down into the ground. It was the strike from Turnbull, and he grabs it at the second attempt.
Yeah, he's actually stayed down as well, Isaac Davis. Heavy challenge from Acheampong on our right-hand side, and good refereeing as well. Could have easily blown for the foul, because it was one, as he cuts inside of Acheampong. Isaac Davis, the ball then just falls to Turnbull. Referee just plays on, just looking to bend it in that far corner, Turnbull.
As we were saying, Danny, at the start of the night, this atmosphere, the fact this Cardiff team is so full of confidence and playing so well in the 11 changes, it has all the ingredients tonight, doesn't it, for a cup upset?
It does, and then the players will thrive off that atmosphere as well. Like I said, it's been a few seasons since this Cardiff City Stadium has been packed out, not since probably they were in the Premier League, so they'll be really feeding off this atmosphere as well, and certainly looks like the way they've started the game, full of energy.
Buonanotte's at it again, because Cardiff are trying to take a free kick. Buonanotte standing right in front of the ball. Referee has blown the whistle, Tony Harrington, and he stuck two fingers up at him in the victory way round rather than the other way round, to say, you've done that twice now. I don't know why he doesn't book him straight away, but next time he's definitely going to get a yellow card for that, just slowing the game down. Yeah,
I think Acheampong as well, slightly lucky maybe not to get a yellow for the challenge.
Yeah,
Davis, the referee pulling it back after letting play carry on.
13 minutes gone in the first half. Lively start, and Cardiff, you'd say, have had the better of it so far. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Cardiff were League Cup finalists back in 2012. You might remember that one against Kenny Dalglish's Liverpool. It finished 2-2 after extra time. Liverpool won it on penalties, having missed their first two penalties. Anthony Gerrard missed the last penalty for Cardiff, Stephen Gerrard's cousin. Here's Tyreek George into the Cardiff box, driven cross right across the face of goal. Gittins can't get there. Now, did it get a touch of a Cardiff player? I think it did. Gittins let it go, and that will be a Cardiff throw on the left. But since that run to the final in 2012, Cardiff haven't even got beyond the last 16 of this competition, and here they are tonight in the quarter-finals. And in good form, as we keep saying. Flick ball over the top from Tosin is overhit, bounces once and goes behind for the goal kick. The fans were belting out Last Christmas before the game as well. I was commentating with Pat Nevin at Brentford on Sunday, and whatever date Sunday was, I think it was the 13th of December, he has a little competition, he was telling me, every year to see how far you can get into December before you hear that song. So he got to Sunday the 13th and then heard it at Brentford. Good run forward, Acheampong hits the shot, it's blocked, comes back to Gittins, flicks a little pass to his left. Chelsea's right back is now wide in the left wing position, passes the ball back into midfield, it comes across to Caicedo. Caicedo beats his man, finds Tosin, forward to Buonanotte, who was on loan at Leicester last season, on loan at Chelsea this season. Pass out to the right-hand side, trickery from Tyreek George. Passes back to Tosin again. Acheampong plays across to Caicedo, about 15 yards inside the Cardiff half. This Cardiff have every man behind the ball. Wide it goes to Gittins on the left-hand side. 15 minutes into the first half of this Carabao Cup tie, and it is still Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0, and Cardiff doing well. Good work off the ball here, forcing Chelsea back into their own half. Acheampong's on the move, good runner with the ball. He was fouled there, and then the first yellow card is going to get shown to a Cardiff player, and it's Isaac Davis, and that's a classic, isn't it, Danny? Davis fouled by Acheampong. Acheampong doesn't get booked. Davis makes a similar challenge and does get booked.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense to me, that. Acheampong there just striding through that midfield area. It's late from Isaac Davis, and a similar late tackle on him which went unpunished, and maybe just trying to get a little bit of retribution. Isaac Davis there for the tackle, but you would think really that should have been a yellow card apiece.
Quick pass forward, looking for Davis again. There was a foul on the halfway line. Caicedo was caught by Joel Colwill. So he is the younger of the two Colwill brothers. It's a real shame Ruben's not fit, isn't it, actually, Danny? Because he is a key man for Cardiff.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player. They're very different, actually, the brothers, in terms of how they play. Joel is maybe a little bit more fire in the belly. Lots of energy running off the ball. Ruben Colwill, who's been outstanding in that kind of number 10 position for Cardiff City this season, a little bit more technical, and a player capable of playing at Premier League level for me. So he'll be disappointed to miss out tonight, but I'm sure he'll be equally then as pleased to see his brother out there performing.
Badiashile volleys the ball forward. Guiu heads it up in the air. The offside flag is up. The referee was going to let that play for a second. Chelsea threatened to get the ball back, so Cardiff are going to get the free kick. 17 minutes gone in the first half. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Don't forget, as if you could, third test in Adelaide starts tonight. First ball will be bowled at 11:30. England already 2-0 down in the series. Have to win this test to keep their chances of winning the Ashes alive. Coverage on Sports Extra from 5 to 11 this evening. It's timed perfectly, Danny, with a 2.5-hour drive back to Salisbury for me there. I've got the full 2 hours there, and I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more,
by the time you get home.
I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more joyous than it has been in recent times. Callum Robinson on the left for Cardiff. Acheampong's in his way, level with the edge of the box. Passes back into midfield. Robinson gets it again. Cardiff players waiting in the middle. Cross comes in, nodded down by Tosin to Caicedo. Caicedo's short pass forward to Buonanotte. Lovely player with the ball at his feet. Clever little pass through the gap there to Tyreek George. George takes a couple of touches, chased by Cardiff defenders. Real harrying there from David Turnbull that gets the applause from the Cardiff fans. And Chelsea under pressure inside their own half. Caicedo, loose first touch, got his pass away. It comes back here to Badiashile. Pressure on him, turns and comes back to the goalkeeper, Philip Jorgensen, the Dane, who's all in bright orange away to our right. Low pass up the middle of the pitch, pounced upon by Wintle. That wasn't the best ball, and Enzo Maresca turns round and barks at, well, no one in particular, but I think just expressing frustration at his Chelsea team giving the ball away. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Really good cup tie, as we thought it would be. Curling pass down the line, looking for Colwill. Caicedo leaps in and knocks the ball out of play for a Cardiff City throw.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle tonight. Caicedo up against young Joel Colwill. Caicedo, he's like the Grinch in that midfield area. Disruptor. Likes to break up play. World-class player for me, so great experience for Joel Colwill tonight to come up against him.
That, Danny, sets up for a social media classic with Caicedo running around with the Grinch's face imposed on his shoulders. I can already see it. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0 in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. Buonanotte running with the ball at speed. Was he tripped there by Bagan? Referee saw it, shakes his head. No free kick. Cardiff play out, they've lost it. Tossing, that's a decent first-time ball to the right-hand side. George gets the cross in towards the far post, and G hoiks that straight up in the air with his left boot, nodded out to the edge of the box. Santos leaps high for Chelsea, lands on his back, but Chelsea have the ball. Achimpong exchanges a little 1-2 with George. Then Achimpong side-foots a pass into midfield. Caicedo takes control of the situation and says, that's mine. Back it comes to tossing, down the line it goes. That's not the best pass. Davis intercepts, Achimpong gets his body in the way, and Cardiff eventually win the throw on the left-hand side.
And just looking at Cardiff, out of possession with 19 minutes gone, they've got the balance pretty good up until now, because there will be periods where Chelsea kind of dominate the ball, but they've done a pretty good job of pressing higher up the pitch when they can, but also then respecting the opposition and getting back into shape quickly and just staying nice and compact and making it really difficult for Chelsea to play through.
Callum Chambers started a League Cup final for Arsenal back in the day, 2018 against Manchester City. Lost it 3-0. That's when Manchester City started that run of winning 4 League Cups in a row under Pep Guardiola. Chelsea have won the competition 5 times, but not for 10 years now. Cardiff have given the ball away. Caicedo to Buonanotte. Quick support from George into the penalty area. That is a great sliding block on the shot from Bagan. Really important contribution there from the left back for Cardiff.
Well, he's just caught in a wide position because Cardiff City have the ball, Joe Bagan. They give the ball away, which they can't afford to do tonight too often, so he'll get punished. And Joe Bagan are desperately trying to get back in. Tyreek George lets fly with a strike. It's a really important block there. Gets back in, great recovery run and an excellent block.
Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0. Those are the thoughts of the former Welsh international. Cardiff City centre-back Danny Gabidon sitting alongside me here. Cardiff snapping into challenges. Chambers high up the field. Last touch came off Buonanotte. So that is going to be a throw-in for Cardiff, who've been involved in some thrillers at home recently. 4-3 against Doncaster on Saturday. So they do give the opposition chances. They do score plenty of goals themselves. 4-3 against Leyton Orient recently as well. Ball is passed back here to Chambers, well inside his own half. Quickly goes back to his goalkeeper, Trott, who does come trotting out to the edge of his penalty area with the ball at his feet. Little side-footed pass here to Lawler. Gittins moves in for Chelsea. Back it comes to Trott, drives the diagonal out to the left. Pinpoint accuracy on that to Bagan. He looks to get Davis away. Down the left, Achimpong didn't deal with it. Davis hits the shot and slices it well wide of the target. And the ball actually goes out for a throw-in by the corner flag. Hit it first time from the angle and sliced it. But Cardiff were in behind Chelsea there.
Yes, the pace of Isaac Davis here. Joel Bacon picking the ball up on his left-hand side. It's great movement from Isaac Davis as that ball is just flipped in behind Achimpong. He can't deal with it, and he's just on a bit of a tight angle. Gets inside the 18-yard box. He's desperately trying to kind of get the ball down under control. Tosin comes across and just slices across the strike. Would have been better served, maybe looking to bend that with the inside of his right foot. Not quite able to get the purchase on the strike that he wanted, but just an example there of the pace of Davis and that kind of ball in behind. Might prove fruitful for Cardiff City tonight.
Midway through the first half, Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0. But Cardiff very much given as good as they get, if not better, at the moment. Tossing across to Achimpong, who's got his hands full in that right-back position for Chelsea. Lawler steps in, wins an aggressive header. Nods it across the halfway line. Chelsea pick up possession. And Andre Santos, the 21-year-old Brazilian. Pass with the outside of his right boot to Achimpong, back into the defence. Caicedo side-foots it out to the right. Achimpong immediately under pressure. Cardiff fans and Isaac Davis appealing for a handball against Achimpong there. Hopeful pass forward. Does find Guiu in the end via a deflection. Lays it off to Buonanotte and it goes to George, who's got speed and comes gliding in from the right-hand side. Caicedo busy as ever, quickly moves the ball onto the left via Badiashile, comes back to Chelsea's centre-back again. Caicedo, back to Tosin. Blue shirts chasing everywhere you look at the moment. Achimpong, low pass out to the right. George's first touch means that Davis is interested to make a challenge there, but George got to it first. Here's Caicedo. Caicedo plays forward to Santos. Santos under pressure. And Chelsea have to come back to the goalkeeper Jorgensen again remains goalless. Philip Jorgensen with the ball at his feet. And Cardiff as impressive without the ball, Danny, as they are with
and
the
I think
ball.
you just see the difference in tempo that both teams play with. Cardiff, both teams are looking to obviously dominate possession, but from a Cardiff City point of view, they play through the lines a little bit quicker. You look at Chelsea, it's much slower, much more patient with their build-up, and that's actually helped Cardiff City a little bit with 24-25 minutes gone, where they're able to get bodies then back behind the ball and get back into shape and become more solid and more difficult to break down. And so far we haven't seen Chelsea open this Cardiff City team up too much.
Here's Jorgensen, the goalkeeper for Chelsea, with his right foot. Diagonal pass out to the left to Hatto. Hatto's first touch on the volley, takes it back to the halfway line. He's able to get onto that. Short pass to Caicedo, across to Tosin. First time ball to Buonanotte. Round the corner to Guiu. He lays it off into the midfield, chested down by Caicedo. Quick, neat interplay from Chelsea, but they've not really gone anywhere with it. And now Achimpong, closed down by Davis again. Gets it out to George on the right. Vagan's immediately breathing down his neck. Cardiff keep chasing. It's back to the Chelsea goalkeeper, Jorgensen. And they'll start it all over again. It's probably worth just reading the Chelsea bench to you tonight as well. So 11 changes in terms of the starting lineup, but Neto, Enzo, João Pedro, Chalobah, Reece James, Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana and Alejandro Garnacho.
Insured.
Just in case they need it, Danny. Yeah, exactly. Here's Achimpong, another 19-year-old we're out watching on the pitch this evening. Santos trying to thread one through to Buonanotte. Chambers in with the tackle. Wide to Davis. Wants to run past Achimpong again. Chelsea defender does enough to stop him in his tracks. The ball comes back into midfield to Santos. Plays it up towards Guiu. Sliding challenge through the back of him. And that's a yellow card for Callum Chambers and a free kick for Chelsea. Was that unwise from the Cardiff City centre-back?
Yeah, it was a type of pass that you feel you can get to as a centre-back. Ball into the feet of Guiu. Callum Chambers just stepping in there thinking he could win it. Guiu actually does a good job of almost manufacturing the foul as well, just by stepping that kind of left leg across and almost forcing the contact into that left leg. So I don't think you can have too many complaints there, Callum Chambers.
Mark Guiu is the player, of course, who went on loan to Sunderland at the start of the season, was then recalled by Chelsea because of the early injury to Liam Delap. Delap is out again, so Guiu is getting chances now and again. I think he tripped himself up there. He's down on the floor again. Chelsea have got the ball with Buonanotte. That's a sweet pass out to the left that finds Gittins. Gittins is running at NG. Two Cardiff defenders in his way now. Gittins turns into NG. The ball comes flying off him. Brian Barry Murphy applauds, and it goes out for the throw into Chelsea on the halfway line. 27 minutes play.
Slow there, Gittins, to kind of get going. As that ball came out to him, he had that 1v1 opportunity against NG, and he never really got up to speed, and that just allowed Keane Ashford then to kind of get back, double up with his fullback, and then he tries to go past NG, and there's almost no space for him to do it. Turns the ball over.
G heads the ball away. Keane Ashford scrambles to keep this in on the halfway line. Good skill. Oh, he's past Buonanotte there. Goes down. Referee says free kick, but no yellow card, which is interesting because Ashford had space to run into there down the right, and Enzo Maresca doesn't even think it was a foul. It's certainly got the crowd up. We'll have a look on the replay monitor.
Definitely think it's a foul. Yeah. Barry Murphy thinks it's a foul. Enzo Maresca didn't think it was a foul, so there's a little bit of a confrontation between the two managers there on the touchline, but definitely a foul. And Keane Ashford maybe could have even got up there and got onto the ball again. But
back underway. Cardiff have taken their free kick. Callum Chambers is one of those Cardiff players now on a yellow card. Passes back to his goalkeeper Trott, works it out to Ng, tries to knock it through the legs of Hatto. He's not going to fall for that. Caicedo forward to Buonanotte, looking for Guiu, couldn't find him. Chambers side foots it across to Bagan here on the edge of his own penalty area. Curling pass, bounces once. Davis stumbles as he controls it, does well to keep his balance, keep the ball as well. Plays back here to Chambers, hurried clearance from him up towards the halfway line. Davis against Achimpong again in a 50-50, and then Turnbull uses his strength to win Cardiff a throw. Ran into Santos, Santos hit the ball went out of play. Cardiff have taken the throw quickly. Santos is annoyed now, goes chasing back and concedes the free kick by making the foul.
Yeah, just looking at Chelsea, they need to start matching that aggression. Cardiff City almost playing a little bit in third gear at the moment. Cardiff City have shown more aggression, more energy, more physicality. Joel Bagan just drawn a foul there on that far side there, just bundled into the back.
David Turnbull sitting inside this Cardiff midfield tonight, former Celtic man. They've got a massive game tomorrow night. We'll have updates on it. Dundee United against Celtic after their defeat in the League Cup final. Flag is up here for an offside from the free kick, so Chelsea will get a free kick themselves just outside their own penalty area. So yes, 2 more League Cup quarter-finals tomorrow night. Manchester City against Brentford kicks off at 7:30. Full commentary on 5 Live throughout. Newcastle-Fulham kicks off at 8:15. Commentary starts over on Sports Extra. And if you miss any of the Ashes test overnight, then you can listen to a full day's replay of the commentary from 11 o'clock on Sports Extra 3. Or if you haven't got time for that, or you can't just have that on in the background, then there are hour-long highlights throughout the day on Sports Extra tomorrow, starting from 11 o'clock. So you get the whole day's play, all that brilliant commentary condensed into 1 hour, and then the Ashes highlights themselves on the iPlayer from 5 o'clock. As Danny was saying, if you can bear to listen to it again and watch it again. We'll wait and see what happens overnight. First ball bowled in Adelaide tonight at 11:30. TMS, the place to listen. Caicedo on the turn, good run forward, good pass. Guiu takes one touch, drives the shot with his left foot, and it's saved by Trott with his feet. Bounces back off the defender, and Trott saves it again. But that was a chance for Chelsea.
Yeah, it was. First opportunity, really. The first time that Chelsea have been able to open that Cardiff City backline up. Caicedo driving through that midfield, and a really intelligent through ball. Finds the runner Guiu on a slight angle on his left foot, and he's looking to drive it low, almost between the legs of Nathan Trott. Just almost comes off the leg of Trott, bounces back off the defender and back into his arms. Gets a little bit of luck with that, but just flexing their muscles a little bit there. Chelsea just showing the quality that they do have when they get it right.
14 minutes left in the first half. Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0, playing for a place in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. First leg of those semi-finals in January, second leg at the start of February. Is tossing, passes back to Jorgensen, and if Chelsea do make their way through to the semi-finals, then they are not going to get a midweek break for quite a long time. If they don't finish in the top 8 of that Champions League table, because obviously that will bring with it, if they don't, another couple of games in the playoff round. Here's Buonanotte. Rolls a pace with no pass here to Hato. He couldn't do much with that. Feeds it back into the midfield to Santos, midway inside the Cardiff half. Achimpong gives it to George. George suddenly bursts into life on the right. Overruns it though. Davis makes the tackle. Robinson starts to set off through the middle. Davis is chased by 3 Chelsea players in the white shirts who eventually get to him. Santos wins the ball, and it comes back here to Achimpong. Cross to Caicedo. Caicedo under pressure from Colwell, passes back to Badiashile, runs away to his left-hand side. First-time ball here to Gittins, inside his own half, uses Caicedo, through the middle it goes, and then Buonanotte tried the clever one, the lead, hoping Guiu was going to be on the same wavelength, and he wasn't quite. And Cardiff go quickly now, high ball down the right to Ashford. Ashford's first touch gives Hato a chance to clear, but only as far as NG, who was in support from the right-back position for Cardiff. It comes back to Wintle in central midfield. Lawler, the 19-year-old, gets onto the ball, happy to bring it forward, prods it across here to Chambers. Chambers pass out to the left to Bagan. Turnbull's getting back into an onside position, wide on the left, takes on Santos, tackled by Santos. Cardiff win the throw. Danny Gavidon.
Yeah, patient play by Cardiff City there. Initially, that ball going into the crossfield ball. They win the second ball back, but they're really patient. They end up going all the way back to Dylan Lawler, the centre-back. They're patient in the build, they work at the other side, and just Turnbull making an intelligent run in behind. Just able to win a throw-in for his team in the end, and Cardiff City back in possession.
Yeah, Bagan threw it to Turnbull, back to Bagan, now to Davis. He's beaten Achimpong into the penalty area. Cross comes in, and deflected and behind from Jorgensen. Jorgensen at the near post, I think, had to get a touch on that because it might have crept in. Corner for Cardiff.
That's good play from Davis again. Looks like he's got the beating of Achimpong when he gets the opportunity. He gets it into his feet, gets a little bit of luck with the ricochet. And he's looking to fire that across the 6-yard box, just takes a little deflection. For Chelsea, yeah.
Oh, that's going in.
Yeah, it is going in. Jorgensen, really good save at his near post there.
Brilliant bit of goalkeeping from Philip Jorgensen. It was Caicedo who got the deflection on it, and that was creeping in at the near post. Corner for Cardiff. Can they take advantage? 11 minutes left in the first half. Ball comes in, headed away by Hatto. Volleyed back into the box by Unji. Guiu is happy to smash that downfield into the Cardiff half. And Bagan has no one for company there. Runs back in his royal blue Cardiff shirt and then drives the ball across field, just behind Ashford here. Bounces once, he chests it down, looks for that pass infield to Colwill. Telegraphed, intercepted by Gittins. Ashford works really hard to get it back, and it goes out for a throw-in to Chelsea just inside the Cardiff half, which Hatto takes. Back it comes to Badiashile. Cross here to Tosin. Tosin side foots a pass to Acheampong. Acheampong down the right-hand side to George. Santos looking for Buonanotte, who'd already spun and gone and was looking for the longer pass. Cardiff have it back. There's a light, thin, white pinstripe in the front of the Cardiff shirts too, as Wintle plays it across to Chambers. Chambers to Lawler. Lawler just inside his own half, straight up the pitch here to Robinson, doing that centre-forward bit, trying to hold off Tosin and keep the ball. He's lost it. Caicedo, bulldozing run forward, lays it off to the right-hand side. George with pace, step over, cross looks over, hit. Yes, it is. Gittins couldn't do anything with that, goes flying past him at the far post and out for a throw-in to Cardiff. 10 minutes left in the first half. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, and that is the difficulty that Cardiff City will have at times, where that ball kind of goes into Callum Robinson, and you know, he needs to do a little bit better with holding that ball up and just giving his team a bit of respite. Bounces off him, that allows Chelsea then to spring on the counter-attack. And a couple of occasions now, Tyreek George on our right-hand side, where he's got to the byline, almost trying to put too much pace and whip on the cross. That's 2 occasions now where he's not been able to pick anybody out.
Tosin has the ball for Chelsea, passes across the halfway line to Acheampong, gets away from Davis, steaming forward up to the edge of the area, sliding challenge from Bagan, picks himself up having made the tackle. Bagan's on the move down the left-hand side. Caicedo's trying to stick with him. Caicedo's done really well for Chelsea, knocks it out for a throw. He wants a free kick, claims he was fouled, but Cardiff want to continue their attack as quickly as they can, although Bagan's taken a breather here, but won the tackle, picked himself up, ran 60 yards, and has won Cardiff to throw.
He's not the kind of man you kind of want to be in a 1v1 battle either. Caicedo, more often than not, comes out on top, but Joel Bagan there just doing a really good job using his kind of body strength and allowing his team to get up the pitch.
Ball now back with the Cardiff keeper, Nathan Trott, who made the one save at his near post from Mark Guiu. He passes it out to Chambers, who with real purpose goes charging upfield. Bagan threads it through to Davis, couldn't quite take it past Acheampong, slips as he looks to make a tackle. Acheampong, statuesque figure at right back, moves elegantly with the ball. It comes back here to Tosin. He passes across to Jorgensen, who's made the most impressive save of the night, the deflection from Caicedo, which nearly crept in at the near post. Just having a little look at movement on the Chelsea bench. One of the substitutes there properly in disguise, because the beanie hat is on, the snood is up, you can't see anything.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I have no idea who that is. He's gone out to warm up for Chelsea. Pass back to Hatto. Hatto to Buonanotte. Buonanotte holds off Ashford, lays it off to Gittins on the left. Gittins moves in midfield. Guiu lays it off to Hatto. Back it comes to Tosin. First time ball across to Caicedo on the halfway line. Badiashile gives it back to Caicedo, looking very casual on the ball there as he passes the ball back to Tosin. Goes to the right to Acheampong. George is deep inside his own half. Again, bursts into life with the ball at his feet. Caicedo really puts some impetus into that pass, spins out, well controlled by Gittins, runs at Ng into that Cardiff penalty area. Slightly lost control of the ball there, nearly turned into a little through ball for Guiu. He didn't mean that. Lawler read it well, ran onto it and intercepted it. Flick pass out to the right from Colwill, and Ashford tries to keep it. An awkward ball for him, that couldn't quite do it. Runs off his right boot and goes out for a throw-in to Chelsea, attacking position on the left. 0-0.
Yeah, brilliant pass from Caicedo. Just the pace of the pass allows the ball to get to Gittins quickly, and then he's in that kind of 1v1 situation. But I have to say, of the 2 Chelsea wide players, Tyreek George looks the more lively and the more productive. 3 or 4 occasions Gittins has got the ball, and I think he's turned the ball over every single time. Hasn't offered too much from this left-hand side yet.
It's Danny Gabidon on 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Playing for a place in the League Cup semi-finals. Philip Jorgensen. Clearance downfield, and G stretches, controls it. The ball hit his knee. Luckily for him, didn't run away from him because Gittins was interested there. Got it back to his goalkeeper, Trott. Trott to Lawler and back to Trott again, who's inside his own 6-yard box. Ball is pinged right down the middle of the pitch. Tossing ducks underneath it. And it runs all the way through, almost to Jorgensen, but Badiashile gets there first. You can see his breath as he's walking forward with the ball, just appearing on the cold night air. Taking too long over that, I think, Badiashile. He's drawing players in towards him. Cardiff try and win it back. They do. Poked forward, but too much on that for Robinson to get to, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Chelsea. And that was Chambers again, stepping in high to try and intercept. Just couldn't control it as a pass, having made the interception.
Yeah, as you just said, ABB, it is. You see this a lot from teams now in terms of when the centre-backs have the ball. Generally, you know, when I was playing, it was about moving the ball quickly. Now you see a lot of centre-backs where they take their time on the ball, like you say, almost drawing the opposition onto you. You know, you'll see them almost stop the ball and wait, and you're almost saying, come towards me, close me down, and then you're looking to play and kind of get that spare man free.
Jorgensen's clearance downfield, controlled by Gittins, laid off to Guiu. Hatto is there, back into Gittins, 40 yards from goal, central position, squirreling his way forward. He's tackled. Davis can't do much with it for Cardiff. Chelsea have it again on the right. That's George again, who's been a tricky customer for Chelsea in the first half. George has looked good down the right on that flank for Chelsea. Buonanotte looking for Acheampong, but he's put too much on that, and Acheampong can't get the cross in, and Maresca just turns and shakes his head and looks down at the ground. But in terms of the sort of the threat from both teams, it's come on the far side of the field to us, hasn't it, Danny? So Davis against Acheampong's been a good battle, and Tyreek George against Bagan's been a good battle.
Certainly has, and Paul from Buonanotte there, he picks the ball up in a pocket of space there, gets turned. It's a simple pass really, that ball in behind for the runner, Tyreek George I think it was, and he just overhits it, goes out of play. And Buonanotte, another one who maybe hasn't quite done enough yet, 3 or 4 occasions where he's not been quite on the same wavelength as Guiu, the centre forward. And
oh, nice pass here into the feet of Davis. Davis into the penalty area, too many Chelsea players around him. Managed to smuggle the ball away. Buonanotte's lost it though. Here's Turnbull. Cardiff fans scream shoot. He couldn't do that. He's done the next best thing. He's found Ashford. Ashford with a little trick, and then the touch is heavy. He was trying to dart past the fullback to get to the byline to cross it, but the touch was too heavy and it went over the byline and it's gone behind for the goal kick. 0-0.
Just felt as that ball came out to him, could have controlled it and just whipped it in behind that Chelsea defence straight away, but elected to face Hatto up, and he's looking to drive to the byline, and that first touch just kind of gets away from him.
Chelsea have taken the goal kick short. Jorgensen is being allowed to bring it to the edge of the area. Then Robinson makes a move towards him. Jorgensen doesn't clear, but Chelsea have worked it well. Out to the left, Badiashile onto Hatto. Hatto looking for an option ahead of him. Gittins, not the best pass back. Gittins gets another chance. Here's Hatto, chased by Colwill. Passed on to Caicedo. Colwill continues the chase. Toss in. Out to Acheampong, immediately closed down by Davis. Has time to get the ball forward. Trott's come a long way out of his penalty area to clear for Cardiff. High in the air it goes. Davis jumps. Headed away by Santos. Lovely first touch from Buonanotte. Buonanotte's only got one thought in his mind there. Attack. But he's run into the tackle of Colwill, and it might have left Chelsea open here. Cardiff fans excited as Wintle gets on the ball and looks for runners on the right-hand side. One of those is Ng. Ng's got Ashford wide. Ashford sort of jumps in the air in disappointment that the ball didn't find him. It's come back to Lawler, the young centre-back. He goes up to Colwill. Badiashile caught him as he made the tackle. Play continues. Ashford's got it now. Brings it in from the right. Tries to slide it through to Colwill, who was back on his feet. Ashford's got another go at it. Gittins can't keep it for Chelsea. And G back to Wintle. Wintle plays it back to Lawler on the halfway line. Wintle's there again in support. Forward to Lawler. Caicedo sees an opportunity to step in and try and win it. Lawler did well. Through now, though, to Badiashile. Terrible touch from him. Turnbull hits it first time, no power. And the shot goes bobbling wide of Jorgensen's left-hand post and behind for the goal kick to Chelsea. Closing stages of the first half on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0.
Really, really poor from Badia Shield. He does that, have that in him. If you pressure him, he'll make mistakes. And just the way the ball dropped to him, he almost had to take the strike on. The pace that ball came across on his weaker left foot. He had the option with Isaac Davis. He could have played to his left, but space opened up and had to take the shot on and just drags the shot wide of the goal.
Chelsea playing out, have got caught, they've now conceded the foul. Hatto has pushed Ashford over. Caicedo sarcastically applauds the referee, and the referee immediately shows him the yellow card and then claps his hands together to make it very clear why he's given that yellow card to Caicedo. Chelsea getting rattled.
Yeah, sloppy again, no. They're trying to play out Chelsea to give the ball away. It's a definite foul. Ashford gets the wrong side of Hatto and he just kicks at him from behind. Caicedo not liking the decision. You're always going to get a yellow card doing that, applauding the referee for the decision that he's made.
I know Chris Sutton would hate me for saying this, but as a referee, if someone sarcastically applauded me, I'd love giving them. You've given me no choice, I'm afraid.
Yeah, standard, isn't it? Standard yellow. He knows it as well, Caicedo, but he can't help himself.
Right, let's see what Cardiff can do with the free kick. Bagan will take it with his left foot, curling in towards the far post. Headed back across goal, Jorgensen's there, covers it well and catches it cleanly, gets up and runs out to the edge of the penalty area. How much added time have we got at the end of the first half here? Oh, 1 minute. So 30 seconds remaining in this first half. It's been a really good watch. It's panned out exactly, I think, how we thought it might. Cardiff have played well, full of confidence, put Chelsea under pressure. Both keepers have had to make saves. And the cup tie is very much in the balance, which is exactly how you want it. Jorgensen's clearance downfield, bounces once, and G's got it covered. Dummies the pass back to Trott, turns away from Gittins, gets the pass downfield towards Ashford. Thought he was tugged there by Badia Shield. The ball has gone out for a Cardiff throw. And that is it for the first half in South Wales. Goalless at half-time. As I say, both keepers called into action. Trott saving with his legs from Guiu, and the really sharp save from Jorgensen, who could have been caught out by the deflection on the Davis cross that hit Caicedo and nearly squirmed in at the near post, but he got down well to palm it behind. Danny, I'm sure you won't be surprised by how well Cardiff have played here.
No, I'm not. I think they've been the better of the two teams. I think Cardiff City they've shown more aggression, more energy. They've been up for it a little bit more. I'm looking at Chelsea, and for me, they're playing in third gear. You've got that insurance policy on the bench. Enzo Maresca, I don't think he'll be happy with what he saw there from his players. Sloppy moments, sloppy in possession, times looking to play out and giving the ball away. The likes of Buonanotte and Gittins, when they've been able to get on the ball, sloppy giving it away. I think you have to give a lot of credit to Cardiff City and how they've gone about things first half, but I'm not sure Enzo Maresca will be happy with what he saw there from his team, and he does have a lot of quality on the bench. And he won't be afraid to use it. He might need to use it second half. But from a Cardiff perspective, absolutely brilliant. Playing with confidence. But they need to keep that going. They need to play at that intensity for the whole of this game. Otherwise, the quality will tell second half.
Half-time at the Cardiff City Stadium. The League One leaders are holding the Club World Cup champions. It's Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0.
Alistair Bruce-Ball and Danny Gabidon are at the Cardiff City Stadium for us. Danny, as you were just saying there, it's been a really impressive first half from Cardiff. And when you talk about that intensity that they've shown, is that going to be as much over the next 45 minutes about maintaining the concentration level? Because they've been so organised and disciplined, as well as forcing Chelsea into making a couple of saves there.
Yeah, Kelly, you're spot on. I think, look, they'll be really pleased with that kind of first half performance. The energy, the organisation that they've shown as well. I think they got the balance right between when to press and win the ball back high, and then when to kind of get back into their shape and be compact and make things difficult. That balance has been good, but you have to continue that for the whole game. Because, I've been in these situations myself as a player where you think, you come off at half-time and think, we've had the better of that. We've done really well, and then those energy levels drop, or concentration levels drop, or an individual makes a mistake, and then obviously the quality kind of takes over and you get punished. So I think there's a lot to take for Cardiff City from that first half. They'll be really pleased with some of the elements they've shown in their game, probably maybe without testing Jorgensen too much. Both keepers haven't had too much to do, I would say. But certainly from a Chelsea point of view, you feel like they've come here and they're just playing in third gear. There's a bit more to them, you think, which will come in the second half. I don't think Enzo Maresca will be too pleased with what he saw in that first half. So Cardiff will need to be aware of an improved performance from them second half. And yeah, it's about them continuing to show those energy levels. And maybe, Brian Murphy second half, you might have to make some changes just to make sure that lack of energy doesn't happen. And he's been that kind of way all season. He's not scared to bring substitutes on to improve the performance or to keep those energy levels up. So so far so good from a Cardiff City perspective.
You'd imagine there are changes to come in the second half, but as things stand, it's going really well for Cardiff at home to Chelsea in this League Cup quarter-final. We'll be back with Danny and Ali for the second half of that game with the score currently at 0-0. We'll round up the rest of the day's sports headlines after the BBC News with Mark Summers.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A man who drove his car into crowds of people celebrating Liverpool's Premier League title in May has been jailed for 21 years and 6 months. Paul Doyle from the Croxteth area of Liverpool pleaded guilty to 31 charges last month. Mike Blair went to help fans who'd been hit.
We ran to the car, so after a bit of scuffling around, we tried to lift the car. There's a guy called John, was it? We ended up pulling out the car. At that point, obviously all the other police have come down. We had to drop the car. That's when I've stepped back and I've looked around the car and there's just bodies everywhere.
One of the men who murdered Stephen Lawrence is understood to have been denied parole. David Norris sought release during a parole hearing in October, having been jailed in 2012. Stephen Lawrence was stabbed to death in a racist attack in South London in 1993. The BBC says it will defend a $5 billion defamation lawsuit brought by President Trump over the editing of one of his speeches in an episode of Panorama. The BBC's apologised, but says there's no basis for a defamation claim. It's believed the UK is set to rejoin the Erasmus scheme, which it left as part of Brexit. It allows people to study, train or volunteer in European countries for up to a year. The government says it won't comment on ongoing talks. And football's world governing body FIFA has announced a number of $60 or around £45 tickets for the World Cup matches next summer. Prices announced last week, which made the tournament the most expensive in history, were strongly criticised by supporters groups.
Smith launches it. He's finished it off with a 6. Emphatic win for Australia, who are 2-0 up with 3 to play.
The Ashes on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds.
Is it fight? Is it character? Is it the mentality that we're taking out there as a group? That's what I've got to find out. That's what I've got to ask.
The third test starts tonight at 11:30.
Hear every ball, every boundary and every wicket on 5 Sports Extra.
And with the TNS podcast, you can hear a roundup of every day's play throughout every test.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0 at half-time in the League Cup quarter-final that's taking place this evening. We'll be back there for second-half commentary very shortly. And then there's live commentary of the third Ashes test from 11:30 tonight on Sports Extra. After going 2-0 down in the series, England captain Ben Stokes said his dressing room was no place for weak men. Let's see how he's feeling a few days on.
The best thing was just to let that sort of sift around and...
Did you do it deliberately? Did he just drop that bit of a bomb?
Yeah, look, there was obviously a bit of emotion attached to it, and sometimes when you are emotional, things come out, not necessarily in the right way, but that's fine.
But they knew the captain wasn't happy?
Yeah, however they've taken it, it's good, because it's simmered around, it's settled, come together, had a chat, and chat's done now. So it's about going out there and performing to the best of our capabilities, and I've probably used my voice a lot more than I probably have over the last 3.5 years. Because again, we are in a situation here where we know we need to win 3 games. And as the captain, I was sort of like, well, I need to do that. So I ain't going to look back on this series. I told them, I wish I'd said that. I wish I'd done this. Because I need to be able to go out there this week and give the best account of myself as a captain as well as a player. So, yeah, there's a few things that obviously I felt the group needed to hear. But also there was a few things that I feel like I needed to say to be able to go out there with a very, very clear head about this week.
Yeah. Can words make them play better?
You certainly hope so, and proof will be in the pudding, but what I have done is definitely left no stone unturned in terms of the mental side of the game, about what we're going into. I've spoke a lot about fight and determination and grit over the last couple of days, to the cameras and in the dressing room in a bit more detail. So I think we're going to see, I hope we're going to see a completely different thing this week.
Ben Stokes was talking to Jonathan Agnew there, and you can listen to more of that conversation on the TMS podcast on BBC Sounds. TMS is on air on Sports Extra at 10:55. The first ball will be bowled at 11:30. England need to win, as we know, to keep their Ashes hopes alive. Let's cross to the PDC World Darts Championships at Alexandra Palace for us. It's James Gregg.
Yes, already one winner tonight, Kelly. That was Germany's Richard Petrescu, who beat Portugal's Jose de Sousa 3-1. Nice and comfortable for him. On stage at the moment, it's an all-Dutch encounter. Danny Nopper, the world number 6, is taking on the Georgian van der Velde. Loads of fans, actually, from the Netherlands in the arena tonight. They're being treated. Nopper won the first set. He's had 4 180s already, but his underdog opponent, van der Velde, has just levelled it up at 1 set apiece. The headline act tonight is Gerwyn-Price, former world champion, of course, and he's next on stage here at the Palace.
And James, Gerwyn-Price gets his tournament, as you say, underway this evening, but I know you've got your eye on Alan Suter. How realistic, though, is that Gerwyn-Price could go on to win a second world title?
Look, it's a great question. I mean, in short, everybody's saying that the way that the draw is done, he's on Luke Littler's side of the draw, so they could meet in the quarter-final. That will be tasty if that happens. And look, the two Lukes, so Littler and Humphreys, they're the two that are basically everybody thinks are going to win it. But if the engraver of the trophy isn't going to be able to use that Luke stencil on the 3rd of January, you'd say that in that next bracket, it's Michael van Gerwen and Gerwyn-Price. And Price has done it before, won it in 2021. It's whether he can battle the crowd, because they do treat him like a pantomime villain. So let's see how he deals with that one tonight.
Yeah, 'tis the season and all of that. Thank you very much for that, James. Good to talk to you, as always. Daily episodes of the 5 Live Boxing podcast this week, ahead of Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua on Friday in Florida. The YouTuber turned pro boxer against the 2-time heavyweight world champion. Steve Bunce is across all of this. And Buncey, as we bring up your microphone here, people will be able to hear there are waves in the background. Now, this is not because you're shrimping at Morecambe Bay.
It's not because I'm shrimping at Morecambe Bay, it's because I'm standing in the last of the sunshine on Miami Beach in the shadow of some of the fabulous Art Deco hotels that you have down here. I'm about 30 feet from the sea. I've broadcast from some fairly nice places in the past, Kelly, as you well and truly know. Trust me, in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower, up the Empire State Building in New York, all sorts of places, but, this comes quite close to it, and I just hope that none of my family are listening, because I've told them I've gone to Miami to work and it worked really hard. So I've blown that one straight away. And listen, if you're going to try and seg into pantomime, please don't. I'm telling you, don't.
Okay. Do you know what? I was going to come back there, and I feel like there's a layer of desperation in your voice that I don't want to mess with. Let's talk about the boxing instead then. So this one is a professional fight, Buncey. We should really point that out.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of people. When this was first announced, only about 6 weeks ago, there was a lot of talk about it being a fake fight, a hoax, choreographed, an exhibition, a sparring session, or if one of them hit the other, they might pull back, not hit each other. Jake Paul has history for that. In November of last year on Netflix, he fought Mike Tyson, and every time they hit each other, they took a 5-second breather. So it wasn't necessarily a fake, but they weren't going for each other. And I have to assure you, and I didn't even need to speak to Joshua to get this confirmation. This is a real fight. That doesn't mean it's not a mismatch, but it is a real fight. Now, some people might say, but Buncey, 9 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, Jake Paul was in a Disney show and was a main character on the Disney Channel. And at the very, very same time, in fact, the same month, Anthony Joshua won a version of the world title. Hey, I'm not telling you it's a great fight. I'm just telling you it's a real fight.
But, Buncey, my concern around these kind of matchups is a safety one. When there is, a big mismatch like this. I mean, as you say, it is a mismatch, but is there any way it can be an even competitive fight other than just a walkover for Anthony Joshua?
If I had 3 seconds, this is that ideal end to a radio interview. No. It has to be a mismatch. It has to end quick. It has to end with Anthony Joshua blasting Jake Paul out of there. Anthony Joshua will be 40-odd pounds heavier, 5 inches taller. And Anthony Joshua last year in 2024, he fought a man mountain, a guy called Frances Ngannou. Now, Ngannou was 6'6". He was about 19.5 stone. And in the second round, Anthony Joshua measured out his feet, measured out his punch distance, and knocked Ngannou spark out. He was on the floor unconscious. Jake Paul is 5 inches taller, 40 pounds lighter. I can't see how he survives very long. He can make it tricky by making it ugly and grabbing Joshua and not giving Joshua any space or any room. But at some point, any time between the first bell and about the end of the second round, AJ will have to hit him somewhere. It's one of those really rare things, because I'm telling you it's a real fight, but I'm telling you it can't last 6 minutes. Now, that sounds like a contradiction in terms, but in all fairness, a lot of what I do in this boxing business, whether I'm standing on a beach or whether I'm at York in the East End, is a contradiction in boxing terms.
But look, you're saying it's not going to go any longer than the 6 minutes. There is a potential for it to be 8 3-minute rounds. Is fitness going to be any kind of indicator here?
No, I don't think so, because even though this was fairly short notice for Joshua, Jake Paul had been in training camp for about 6 or 7 weeks when Joshua was parachuted in as the opponent. Joshua spent a long time out of the ring. He spent an entire year discovering himself. He's talked about that, how he's been on the road finding himself. He's been in 15 or so countries, and he's been having mini training camps. He's kept himself in great shape. I mean, Joshua being out of shape means he's half a pound over his fighting weight, remember. He's not like a normal being. Most boxers are like that. They may swell up a little bit. Not everyone was like Ricky Hatton, putting on 5 stone and in a kebab shop at 4 o'clock in the morning. God bless his lovely soul. But Joshua is always in good condition. I saw him yesterday. He looks as slim and as bright-eyed and as focused as I've ever seen him. And it needs to be, because if he were to go 3 or 4 rounds, some people would say you're too old, you've lost your edge. He's in a lose-lose situation, and he's in an absolute simple win situation. It's contradictions. It makes no sense. I'm in the sun, it's sliding down, there are people in the sea. What more do you want? And by the way, last time I was on this beach,
yeah.
I had to get out of the sea because there was these shallow sharks that come in and feed close to the shore. Absolutely. So for literally where I'm standing now, there were sharks.
Luckily, no sharks in boxing. Thank you very much for joining us, Bunsey. Lovely to talk to you. Bunsey will be watching the open workouts tonight from 11 o'clock our time. Live text commentary on the BBC Sport website and app from 3 a.m. on Saturday. The ring walk's expected about 3:30. And then all the build-up with daily episodes of 5 Live Boxing with Steve Bunn's podcast. We've got more League Cup commentaries tomorrow night on 5 Live. It's Manchester City against Brentford at 7:30. Newcastle against Fulham's at 8:15 on Sports Extra, and then the second half of that will be on 5 Live. It's also the final round of the league stages in the Women's Champions League. Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal are all in action. We'll keep you up to date with all those matches, and you can download the latest Women's Football Weekly now. Ellen White and Jen Beattie look ahead to those games. But there's only one football match to concern yourself with this evening. It's the League Cup quarter-final between Cardiff City and Chelsea. No goals as yet as we head into the second half with Danny Gabardon and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Thank you, Kelly. Feels quite a long way from Miami here in South Wales this evening. Good to hear Steve Bunce, but the atmosphere is cracking in here. And Enzo Maresca, Danny Gabardon said it at half-time, wouldn't be entirely satisfied with what he'd seen from his team in the first half. So the identity of the mystery sub is revealed. I think that was Alejandro Garnacho who was out warming up under all the layers just before the half-time whistle blew. It's going to be a double change at half-time here for Chelsea. So Garnacho is coming on and Joao Pedro is coming on. Guiu and Tyreek George are the 2 players replaced. So it looks like Gittins will switch to the right, Garnacho will play on the left. That feels slightly harsh on George to me.
Oh yeah, really surprised with that, ABB. I think out of the 2 wide players for Chelsea, he looked the more dangerous, the more productive. Gittins on that left-hand side, now switching to the right. I thought, picked the ball up in 3 or 4 occasions in that first half and lost the ball every single time. In terms of Guiu, probably had the best chance of that first half, but in terms of that kind of understanding of that link-up between him and Buonanotte, we saw on a few occasions where, 2 players not quite on the same wavelength. So certainly Joao Pedro coming on, totally different proposition for this Cardiff City backline.
Yeah, 1 goal in his last 6 appearances, Joao Pedro, 3 in his last 17. He's not been prolific, started the season well for Chelsea, but definitely a different proposition for young Dylan Lawler, who's standing closest to him at the moment. Plenty of Cardiff fans making their way back
to their seats in this grandstand that we sit in, our commentary position, running alongside the action here. Really warm in those concourses at half-time. They've got all those heaters up on the roofs. Absolutely toasty in there, so I can see why fans would stay there as long as they could. Cardiff City in the blue shirts, white shorts, blue socks with the white tops, playing from right to left in this second half. 0-0 against Chelsea in this first League Cup quarter-final this week. And Chelsea in change kit this evening, sort of off-white, almost cream shirts, dark green shorts, dark green socks. Turnbull to Scott, passes back to Callum Chambers, the Cardiff City captain, comes back to his goalkeeper Trott. Joao Pedro's in his way of that pass, he can't play that one. Straight up the pitch to Wintle. Cross here to Lawler inside his own area. Cardiff fans getting a little bit nervous sitting around us with Chelsea players closing in, but they've seen plenty of that before from Brian Barry Murphy's team, so they shouldn't be concerned. And look at the confidence and control and composure of Joel Cole. Had two players on him there in a tight spot on the right, didn't panic, kept the ball and wins Cardiff the throw. Really impressive, that.
Yeah, started with Nathan Trott, who I have to say has been an excellent signing for Cardiff City. Very, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Gives the Cardiff City fans kittens at times, but more often than not, he's very good with his kind of distribution, his composure. It's really important for Cardiff City that focus and concentration, energy levels, all those things need to stay the same second half. The minute those energy levels drop, and the quality that Chelsea have, the quality that they've just brought on as well, could be a problem.
Cardiff attacking from deep, looking for their centre forward Callum Robinson. Intercepted, Badiashile will play back here to Philip Jorgensen. Back again to Badiashile, who's got plenty of time to turn inside his own penalty area. So Chelsea have Jorgensen in goal, back four's not changed. Achimpong at right back, Jarell Hatto at left back, Tosin and Badiashile, the two centre-backs. Moises Caicedo on the yellow card for sarcastically applauding the referee just before half-time. Andre Santos has tripped his man here, Chambers, so Cardiff get the free kick. So Santos and Caicedo in central midfield. Now we've got Gittins on the right, Garnacho on the left, Joao Pedro as the centre forward, and Facundo Buonanotte playing off him. And Cardiff have Nathan Trott in goal, Perry G and Joel Bagan as the two fullbacks right and left. Dylan Lawler and Callum Chambers, the captain, the two centre-backs. Chambers on a yellow card. Ryan Wintle, David Turnbull in central midfield. Kean Ashford and Isaac Davis, the wideman. Davis also on a yellow card. Joel Colwill playing off Callum Robinson up top. But Cardiff also have strength on the bench. Talking about Robinson starting through the middle, we mentioned him at the start of the night. Yusuf Salek, the Dane, can come on at any moment, having already scored 11 goals for Cardiff this season, having joined the club in January. Chambers on the ball for Cardiff, inside his own half, across to Bagan, floats one down the left, Davis jumps, wins the header, Santos is there, nods it to his right, Achimpong fired it high in the air, spinning ball goes out of play, and that'll be a throw into Cardiff inside their own half. So coming up to 4 minutes played in the second half. 5 live at BBC Sounds, live from the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Really is a cracking atmosphere in here tonight, and as Danny says, it's quite rare for Cardiff home games anyway to see that top tier of the Ninian stand opposite us, the bright red seats blocked out by people in them. For Wales games, slightly different. Caicedo plays back here to Badiashile, forward up to the halfway line. Hatto turns, gives it to Caicedo, Hatto again to Badiashile. Robinson chases to close down Tosin. Comes across to Achimpong on the right. Davis saw his chance, nips in for Cardiff, takes it off his toe. Little lob pass forward from Chambers to Turnbull. Nice from Turnbull to see Davis on his left-hand side. Davis chops onto his right foot, corner of the Chelsea penalty area, finds space, back to Wintle. Home fans scream for him to shoot. He doesn't, he rolls the pass to his right, back to Wintle again. Low cross comes in, volleyed away easily by Badiashile. Could have just done with a better ball there, and Lawler running hard here to get there first before Joao Pedro. Then he might have given the ball away. No, the pass is okay. Wintle was there to save the day for Cardiff, and actually he then turns to Lawler and applauds him, not only for the chase but for taking the risk and playing the pass.
Yeah, he will take that risk, Dylan Lawler. Very composed in possession, had to get that right. It's a straight race initially between him and Joao Pedro. Gets there first and he's running out of pitch, and this plays a slightly dangerous ball back inside to Wintle, but does the job really well there.
Cardiff fans loving this game, loving their season under Brian Barry Murphy so far. Top of League One, big game away to Lincoln at the weekend. Concentrating on this League Cup quarter-final. Ashford's cross into the near post, straight at Jorgensen, who jumps up again, pats the ball down and grabs it on the bounce and holds onto it for now on the edge of the 6-yard box. So yeah, big games for both these two teams at the weekend actually. Lincoln away for Cardiff, Lincoln going well in League One as well. Newcastle away for Chelsea, which is the 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. We'll have updates on it in 5 Live Sport from midday. Your 3 o'clock commentary on Saturday afternoon is Manchester City against West Ham. Spurs Liverpool in full at 5:30, but that's to come at the weekend. Here's Hatto, making only a 9th appearance for Chelsea since joining from Ajax in the summer. Badiashile plays back to Jorgensen. You're not going to keep these Cardiff fans quiet tonight. Tossing up towards Buonanotte, tries a turn inside his own half, picks himself up. Pedro lays it off to him. Buonanotte is speeding forward, knocks it through the legs of Wintle. The pass is on to the left, and he gets it wrong. Garnacho was in space, but he couldn't find him. And now Lawler again playing out, gets caught. Caicedo, he tries to foul Caicedo. Caicedo just shrugs him off. Passes here to Gittins inside the Cardiff area. Thought about the shot, back to Caicedo. Onto his left foot, hits that hard. Wintle is there to block it for Cardiff. Achimpong receives it, gangly figure in front of us on the right wing, gives it to Gittins. Little run made forward by Santos. Gittins ignores that, shoots, deflected and cleared away. Anywhere will do at that time for Cardiff, and it's Tosin who goes chasing back and keeps the ball for Chelsea. 0-0.
Yeah, good from Chelsea though. Quicker build-up, they play through the lines quicker. Buonanotte, lovely play, exchange with João Pedro, gets it back, and then he's driving through that midfield area, and the most important bit he gets wrong, that kind of final pass out wide to Garnacho. That's where he doesn't have the kind of required focus and concentration on the pass, and it kind of gets cut out.
Ball is headed away by Ng onto the chest of João Pedro. He left it behind after making the initial contact and has been caught as he was challenged, accidentally glancing blow on the side of the head. He stayed down, he's holding his head, so the referee's seen it. He's going to let João Pedro get to his feet, and play will continue. Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0. Quarter-finals of the EFL Cup. Oh, Chambers has got caught on the halfway line. Could be trouble for Cardiff this. Buonanotte's got his head up. Right-footed pass. Great ball. Garnacho shot well saved by Trott. Got down low to his left, and it's knocked behind by Begum for the corner.
Yeah, smart save from Trott. Low down to his left, and that's what Cardiff City can't afford to do. Callum Chambers just dilly-dallying on the ball. He gets closed down by 2 players. He tries to be clever, loses the ball, and Chelsea spring on the counter-attack down this near right-hand side. Great ball by Buonanotte in behind Dylan Lawler. First time shot from Garnacho. Smart save from Nathan Trott.
Should make the point, no VAR involved tonight. They just freeze-framed that on the pass in towards Garnacho. Looking at the offside wouldn't make a difference, though, in terms of VAR being able to have a look at something. Corner into the near post. Caicedo won a couple of headers. Robinson has got it away for now. Cleared again by Joel Colwell. That is a huge up and under. It just hits Caicedo's right boot. It actually falls to Callum Robinson for Cardiff. Turnbull is there. He's lost it to Buonanotte. A little bit scrappy. And Cardiff waiting to make a double change of their own early in this second half. Still Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. 2 more quarter-finals tomorrow night in this competition. Manchester City against Brentford. Kicks off at 7:30. Newcastle Fulham kicks off at 8:15. Manchester City Brentford in full on 5 Live. Newcastle Fulham commentary will start on Sports Extra and will then move to 5 Live for the second half. We'll have updates of Dundee United against Celtic as well, which kicks off at 8. Garnacho on the move, crossing to João Pedro, lays it off. Curling effort from Caicedo, blocked before Trott could even make the save. Wonderful first touch there by Gittins. Back to Santos. Santos sees Gittins in space on the right. Gittins into the area, chops it onto his right foot, and then Begum's clearance hits Chambers and goes behind for another Chelsea corner, and the Premier League team just applying a bit of pressure here.
Yeah, they certainly are. Much better from Chelsea, playing at a higher tempo, causing more problems now for Cardiff City defensively. Callum Chambers there, he's doing a good job of getting himself down the line of that Caicedo shot as the ball's cut back to him. The edge of the 18-yard box, just gets himself down the line of the shot. Really important block.
Right, Yusuf Salek is coming on, Danny, the centre-forward, the Danish centre-forward for Callum Robinson. What can you tell me about him? You've seen him play.
He's been very, very good since he's come into the club, and a different type of profile player to Callum Robinson, much more of a physical presence. In terms of the wide players now, it allows them to service the box, and he's very good in the air. Different proposition for those two Chelsea centre-backs. He will do this, Brian Murphy. He will utilise the bench, and I think more so than ever tonight in terms of the energy levels, and they would have had to expend a lot of energy in that first half. Cardiff City, very different to what they experienced in League One, so maintaining those energy levels really, really important by utilising the bench.
Chris Willock is the other player to come on for Isaac Davis, and yes, you do recognise the surname. That is Joe Willock's younger brother, like Joe, at Arsenal as a young man. Before Cardiff was playing his football at QPR. Ball is inside that Cardiff penalty area. Garnacho shoots, Cardiff get bodies in the way. Salek's first touch to centre forward is to clear it up towards the halfway line. Jorgensen, miles out of his goal under pressure, can only scrape it away to the left and out for a throw-in to Cardiff, taken quickly by Wintle. Controlled here by Ng at right back. So Willock takes up station wide left where Isaac Davis was, who looks like he's worked really hard. Cardiff have given the ball away. Buonanotte on it for Chelsea, slides in Garnacho, and he finds the bottom corner. Cardiff got caught playing out. They will take those risks, but up against teams like Chelsea, it can cost you. And Enzo Maresca's half-time substitution has made a difference. Cool finish from Garnacho. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1.
And that's what you cannot afford to do. And Dylan Lawler there, who's been magnificent this season, so assured, so calm in possession, maybe a little bit too calm on this occasion, looking to play out, and he plays the ball straight to Buonanotte, and then he's in a 2v1 situation with Garnacho on the overlap, and he just slips him in at the right time. And it's a really smart finish, low across Nathan Trott, an absolute Christmas gift there. Christmas present given to Chelsea, and they have flexed their muscles more this second half, maybe. They have come out and played with a better tempo. It's a really clever finish.
Brian Barry Murphy won't worry about that, will he, Danny? That's the way they play. The Cardiff fans won't worry about that. 19-year-old playing at the back, great with the ball at his feet. They're not going to get onto him because of that mistake, particularly not in a game like this, are they?
They'll continue to play in exactly the same way. I think Dylan Lawler individually will as well. That's going to be disappointing for him, but it's how he kind of reacts now to that mistake. Something you've got to kind of get over quickly and just do your best off the back of that, and don't let it kind of affect you mentally. You have to say Chelsea have started the second half really well. The substitutes coming on and just adding a bit more quality, a bit more intensity to their play. I think the manager would have asked for a bit more intensity from his team, tempo in the second half, exactly what he's got, and really good finish from Garnacho there.
5 times League Cup winners Chelsea, 1-0 up here at Cardiff since winning the trophy last under Jose Mourinho in 2015. They have lost 3 League Cup finals. 2019 against Manchester City under Maurizio Sarri, 2022 against Liverpool under Thomas Tuchel, and 2024 against Liverpool, the late Van Dijk goal when Maurizio Pochettino was in charge. But Enzo Maresca has a couple of trophies already in the bag. He's trying to take Chelsea to another semi-final here, and Cardiff have got to chase the game. They've got half an hour or so to do it. Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 1. Long ball downfield, Garnacho pounces on the Ng mistake, finds Joao Pedro, hits the shot. That's blocked, but it comes to Buonanotte. Buonanotte onto his left foot. Curler just over the bar. Trott might have got a touch on that. Yes, he did. It's gone behind for a corner.
Again, Cardiff City just giving the ball away in an area you can't afford to. He's come to life. Buonanotte, second half, much better compared to what we saw in the first half. Forces a brilliant save from Nathan Trott there. Just cuts back onto his left foot. Looking to whip it in that far corner. Nathan Trott at full stretch, diving to his right. It's a really, really good save.
Buonanotte on loan at Chelsea from Brighton, on loan to Leicester last season. This only his 7th appearance of this season. His 1 goal has come in the League Cup. Santos with a header forward, goes skidding into the Cardiff penalty area. Trott is able to pick that up and bowl it out quickly to Bagan. So into the last half hour of the cup tie. No extra time tonight if it is level after 90 minutes. Straight to a penalty shootout. Bagan's ball to Wintle. And Cardiff will give this everything in front of this packed stadium to try and get back in the game, which will give Chelsea opportunities on the counter, and it looks like Chelsea might be ready to make more changes in the second half as well, and that is only going to make it tougher for Cardiff with the quality that Chelsea have got on the bench. Here's Lawler. Lawler passes to Turnbull, back it comes to Chambers, cross to Bagan on the left, inside the Chelsea half. Willock's pass forward finds Turnbull. Neat play from the League One leaders. Bagan to Turnbull, back it comes to Chambers. Chelsea have kept that contained and Cardiff have had to come back towards the halfway line. Bagan plays back to Chambers again. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1. If you have just tuned in to 5 Live this evening, second half goal from Alejandro Garnacho. Enzo Maresca making 11 changes to his Chelsea team tonight. Joao Pedro and Garnacho coming on at half-time. It looks like Gusto and Neto might be coming on soon for Chelsea as well. Cardiff possession at the moment. Willock turns on the halfway line. Bagan's behind him, neat and tidy. Cross it comes here to Chambers. Chambers low pass into midfield. Pushed forward to the centre forward Salek. He's knocked off the ball by Tosin. And G comes in with a strong tackle, but it runs to Santos for Chelsea. Plays back to the goalkeeper Jorgensen, who just slows things down by putting his foot on the ball. Danny Gabidon.
And it has been neat and tidy for the most part from Cardiff City, but it's just kind of been in and around that kind of final third where it kind of breaks down a bit, where they're not able to find those openings, create enough chances. You know, understandable when you come up against kind of top level opposition, it is a lot more difficult than what they're used to, but as we said, they will continue to probe and keep playing the same way.
Jorgensen clears. Enzo Maresca goes chasing down the touchline as if he was going to try and get onto that ball for Chelsea. Chambers inside his own half gets the shout of man on from thousands of Cardiff fans as Gittins approached. Here's Lawler. Lawler passes out to Bagan, who can get out here on the left-hand side, wants some options ahead of him. Willock's close to him, tight on the left, brings that ball infield, across the halfway line, runs into trouble. Chelsea hungry, win it back. Santos playing through to Garnacho. Trott comes out to meet him and slides him with his feet and makes the tackle. Had to get that right, got the ball, got a bit of Garnacho as well. Garnacho can't chase back here, so Cardiff able to attack down that right-hand side, playing from right to left in this second half towards the Canton stand. Can Cardiff find themselves a goal to really light this stadium up tonight? Here's Chambers, 40 yards from the Chelsea goal. Pace on the pass to Willock on the left. Willock chops inside, low cross bounces once, hoisted high in the air by Tosin. Joao Pedro jumps and misses his header. Turnbull wins the next one, nods it to Willock, forward to Turnbull. Turnbull passes out to Willock again on the left, tries to beat Achimpong on the outside. Cross hits the Chelsea defender and goes behind for the corner, and the manager, Brian Barry Murphy, just clenched his fist. Really pleased with that.
Yeah, something I'd like to see now, a little bit more from Cardiff City. When those wide players get the ball, they can service the box now with that physical presence of Salek in there. Haven't really tested that Chelsea backline with crosses too much. Just looking at the replay of Nathan Trott as that ball went in behind. Initially looked like the ball was going to come through to him, so he was a little bit hesitant, then realised it was, and really well-timed challenge there with his feet there on Garnacho. Had to get that right.
Gusto and Neto getting ready to go for Chelsea, so that'll be two more onto the field. Bagan with the corner low. Willock one touch, curling shot, headed away by Caicedo, who blocked the ball's path to goal. Brian Barry Murphy this time goes running up the left-hand touchline and points because he wants that pass played to Bagan. Buonanotte fouls Willock off the ball. Referee lets it play. It's out to Bagan on the left-hand side. Looks like a decent cross into the far post. Punched away by Jorgensen. Important intervention from the Chelsea keeper. Cardiff have responded well here. They're a goal down.
Yeah, good ball in from Joel Bagan on his left-hand side. Jorgensen committed. Does really well in the end. He just punched it clear, but could have easily dropped to a couple of Cardiff City players on that far post. It evades all of them. And Jorgensen going down after, not quite sure where the contact was. As he come to punch that. Still an order going in, and maybe just a clash of heads.
Yeah, I think Jorgensen glancing blow on the side of the head, so they're going to have to check him out. He's back on his feet. I think he's okay. Here come the Chelsea changes. So that's Gittins off. And Neto comes on. And Gusto is coming on for Facundo Buonanotte. And Enzo Maresca just feeling the cold. The old black snoot has gone up a bit tighter over the mouth, over the nose, until he remembers he's got something to say to the player going onto the field, so immediately pops it down to have a word. It's not often Chelsea get knocked out of a domestic cup competition by lower league opposition. As I was saying in the first half, last time it happened was back in 2015, famous win for Bradford. I was at that game. I think that's one of the biggest FA Cup shocks I can remember, against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. An unbelievable record at home, and Bradford won the game 4-2, having been 2-0 down. The last time it happened in the League Cup to Chelsea was against Burnley, who were then in the Championship back in 2008. That was Owen Coyle's Burnley against Luis Felipe Scolari's Chelsea, which, when you read that out, it kind of ages you a little bit, knowing you've been commentating on football for all those years that you remember those games. Can Cardiff do something special tonight? 24 minutes to go, second half, 1-0 down to the Garnacho goal. Willock on the ball for Cardiff, back here to Chambers. Chambers still with a bounce in his stride across to Lawler, who's got that young man look about him with the socks rolled down. Short-sleeved Cardiff shirt. Wide to Willock on the left. Feeds it infield to Turnbull. Back to Willock. Willock side foots a pass to Chambers. Joao Pedro comes jogging towards him. No intensity in that chase. Chambers drills a low pass out to the right-hand side. Chance for Cardiff to attack here and bring the ball infield from the right. Little back heel here to Colwill from Ashford. Colwill controlled it, then has to make a tackle and commits a foul. And Chelsea get the free kick. They lead Cardiff 1-0.
I'd just like to see Keane Ashford on that right-hand side. Great ball from Callum Chambers, left to right to his feet. But he elects to kind of come inside and run into the bodies. I'd rather him face Hato up there, try and drive to the byline. Maybe you get the cross in, you force a corner. Like I say, they have that physical presence. The Salak now feeds off delivery into the box, just elects to come inside and almost stifles the attack there.
Just over 2 hours until the first ball is bowled in Adelaide. Third Ashes Test. Coverage on Sports Extra starts at 10:55 tonight. Available via the BBC Sounds app. That's where you'll find all the Sports Extra feeds. Sports Extra 2 and 3 as well. Ball down the right for Ashford is beyond him and goes out for a throw-in. Just had a shot at the Welsh manager Craig Bellamy, sitting in the stands watching tonight. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1. At least one massive game coming for Wales, hopefully 2 here in the new year to try and get themselves a place at the World Cup. And given their home record in this stadium, Wales, they'll be loving the fact they've got 2 home games.
Yeah, they certainly will. Ryan Barry Murphy is Craig Bellamy's new best friend at the minute as well, because the amount of players that Cardiff City will be producing for the national team, and the style of play as well, very similar to Craig Bellamy, so he finds himself at the Cardiff City Stadium quite a lot.
Ball back to Tossin. Up in the air it goes, down the right-hand touchline. Bagan battling, Neto stabs it forward. Pedro chases that for Chelsea. Lawler makes the tackle, brilliant from Turnbull. The nutmeg on Gusto, good pass as well to Salak. Barrel-chested centre forward, on the ball here, left-hand side. Tossin in front of him, takes it back to the edge of the box, then dinks across to the far post. Nearly turned into a brilliant ball for Ashford, that. Chelsea have managed to get it away, and G is up there in the attack for Cardiff. Back it comes from Wintle to Lawler. Cardiff fans sensing something here from their team. It's not often they don't score. Bagan's ball into midfield. There's Turnbull again. Back to Wintle. Chelsea hold their shape. Wintle inside the Chelsea half, tries to curl it beyond Garnacho, who slides and blocks. Santos runs into the ball on the left-hand touchline. It goes out for a throw into Cardiff. 20 minutes to play. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1. Playing for a place in the semi-finals of the League Cup this evening. Wintle walking forward with the ball. Back to Lawler on the halfway line. First time ball from Joel Colwill to Chambers. Callum Chambers side foots it here to Lawler. Realises he has to take that on the move because Garnacho was closing in. Finds Bagan on the left. Bagan to Turnbull. Forward here to Lawler. Works it nicely out to Willock on the left. Back in field here to Turnbull. Great play from Cardiff. Willock chases. Has he kept it in? If he has, he's crossed it straight into the arms of Jorgensen. Fantastic football.
Brilliant football. Just run out of space. Just a little bit too much on that through ball to Willock, and he can't do anything with a cross, but lovely football. You're looking at Dylan Lawler there. No worries about stepping into kind of midfield and playing. No worries since the mistake. He's got his head down and hasn't let that mistake affect him. Really instrumental in the build-up play there.
20 minutes to go. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1. Joao Pedro in the centre circle to Caicedo. Good ball to Gusto. Lays it off here to Santos. Back to Gusto. Scored in the Premier League at the weekend. Was about to shoot there. Oh, and it's nearly an own goal from Bagan, who ran in to try and get involved, and the ball was knocked into his path, and he couldn't stop himself. He side-footed it towards his own goal, and it just went, thankfully for him and Cardiff, the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, no room at the end there in the end for Gusto, I think it was, who found himself in a centre-forward position going in on goal, but it's 3 or 4 Cardiff City players that are scrambling back, converge, and as you say, that ricochet, just look from our angle, that I was nestling into that far corner, just evades the post.
Hato, Chelsea have worked the corner short. They've got the ball on the left-hand side. Neto to Garnacho. Garnacho fires a pass into the feet of Caicedo, lays it off edge of the box. Big deflection on that shot. Through it goes and wide for another corner to Chelsea.
Yeah, Santos with the strike there, edge of the 18-yard box. Willock just does enough. He gets out, kind of confronts him, just takes a little nick off his leg there. Again, from our angle, just looked like it was possibly nestling in that far corner. Just whistles past the post for another corner.
Chelsea were to score again, you feel that would be too much for Cardiff to haul in within 20 minutes. If it stays 1-0, you could see Cardiff possibly nicking an equaliser and taking it to a penalty shootout. Neto's ball, edge of the box, Garnacho, right-footed shot, deflection again, and wide it goes again. Important defending. I think that was Lawler who got that touch, put his body in the way. Another corner for Chelsea. Really important spell here for Cardiff to keep Chelsea out.
As you say, ABB really important that they keep this the one. Cardiff City a little bit slow on this occasion to kind of get out to the edge of the box. They work a short corner, Chelsea, but it's again Dylan Lawler gets himself down the line of the shot, does the job for his goalkeeper there.
Eyes on Enzo Maresca to my left, put the spotlight on himself with the comments made after the win over Everton. 11 changes tonight. Chelsea are winning. Corner into the near post, flicked onto the far post. Header there behind from Joel Colwill. Another corner for Chelsea. Interesting corner that. No real pace from Neto, but found his man at the near post, and that made it awkward, because then it's just about winning that second ball.
There was Tosin on that near post, and he was frustrated, but as you say, ABB, there wasn't enough pace really on the delivery, so Tosin struggled with a flick on. He just needs to glance that on, because there wasn't a lot of pace on the corner. He just loops it to that far post, and Cardiff able to defend it.
17 minutes to play. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1. On air with 5 Live Sport through until 10:30 tonight. Neto's away swinging corner, nodded out to be collected by Neto again, who's midway inside the Cardiff half now on the left. Gusto plays back to Hato, into Caicedo. Gusto out to Neto on the left. Back to Gusto again, running with the ball at his feet, followed by Ashford. Here's Hato from deep. Garnacho bursts beyond the Cardiff defensive line. He won't catch that. Bounces a couple of times and goes behind for the goal kick to Cardiff. Replacement ball on the field immediately. Nathan Trott, the keeper, in bright pink, plops it down on the edge of the 6-yard box, passes it out to Callum Chambers. Chambers couldn't see an early option there, so comes back to Trott. Trott's ball out to the right with his left foot, swept forward towards the centre-forward Salek, looks for that physical contact with the centre-back, wasn't concentrating on the ball there and wasn't able to hold on to it. Here's Colwill, Santos slides in, Colwill just keeps that in play on the right, clever little pass down the line here to Ashford. Colwill continues his run on the outside, Ashford sees that, plays it to him, corner of the box, back it comes here, Wintle's involved now, Cardiff have it with and G on the right-hand side, crosses with his left foot, good ball! Lovely goal! Cardiff have equalised. David Turnbull with the diving header, timed his run perfectly. Listen to the noise inside the Cardiff City Stadium. The League One leaders are level with Chelsea, and that is a goal that David Turnbull will remember for a long time.
Game on, ABB, game on. And I spoke about it. More delivery into the box. Initially, Cardiff City, they're really patient in possession, looking for that kind of opening, that half yard. And the delivery is outstanding. It is absolutely gift-wrapped the cross, I have to say. Onto the head of Turnbull, who just makes that kind of late run, unmarked, central area. Apparently he's got a lot to do with that header, but away. Brilliant cross, brilliant header. Jorgensen diving to his left, absolutely no chance.
Talking about all our yesterdays, diving headers cup football makes me think of Keith Houchin. 1987 cup final.
Wow.
Keith Houchin. Oh, what a header, what a moment, what a noise, what a goal for Cardiff City. And I think deserved for the way they played tonight, because they've soaked up that pressure. Last 10 minutes or so, kept Chelsea out, created the chance. And that was the right back crossing with his left foot there, Danny. What a ball.
Brilliant delivery. Ng, has that technical ability. I spoke about it, more crosses into the box, make that Chelsea backline defend a little bit more. They work the opening well, and the cross is right on the money. And from a Chelsea perspective, who's marking Turnbull? He just goes in there unmarked, and it's a brilliant, brilliant header.
What a cup tie we've got on our hands now. 14 minutes to play, no extra time tonight. Cardiff sweeping forward. Colwill looking for the run of Ashford, couldn't find him. Lawler intercepts in front of Joao Pedro, passes to his right to the creator of the goal, and G. Wintle crosses from deep. Badia Shields got it covered, heads it away. Cardiff suddenly on the front foot. Cardiff won, Chelsea won. Exactly what Enzo Maresca would have feared. And this is where home advantage could play a huge part in the last.
You listen to the crowd now. Since the goal, it's brought them to life. The game had just gone into a little bit of a lull where Chelsea looked like they were in control and they were probing for that second. You mentioned it, ABB, really important at Cardiff City. Don't concede a second. There was a couple of nervy moments from corners, and brilliant response then the other end with a goal.
Colwill under pressure inside the Chelsea half. He's lost the ball. Real urgency again about Chelsea now. Caicedo puts everything he can into that clearance. Lawler backpedals, heads it to his left to Chambers. Just over 12 minutes plus added time remaining. 12 minutes plus added time away from a penalty shootout. Cardiff have given it away. Crossing from Neto. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping. So brave from Trott. Threw himself at the feet of Joao Pedro, who had to go for it, the Chelsea striker, and might have caught Trott in the head with his boot. But Cardiff very nearly cost themselves again. Goodness me.
That is outstanding goalkeeping, by the way. Because he has the read, that cross. He has the move before he's even crossed it. They're trying to play out. Chelsea get a really good press on. Ball goes into Wintle from the goalkeeper, and he just plays it blind, and Neto's in there, just nicks it round Chambers, and he's looking to fire that into the near post, and it's a tap in for Joao Pedro, who's unmarked. But Trott actually, he knows it's going there, and he gets there first, and he's really brave as well. As the contact then comes in from Pedro, and he takes one to the head there. Hopefully he's going to be okay, but standing goalkeeping.
Yeah, that is brilliant and brave from Nathan Trott, and Danny picked up on that at the start of the second half. What a great signing he's been on loan from FC Copenhagen. Been playing in Denmark for the last few seasons. Actually might have caused himself a problem with the shoulder. While he receives treatment, we get another look at what a great view that is from behind David Turnbull. Still has a bit to do with the header as well. He's not just meeting it straight, he's got to turn his head and direct that beyond Jorgensen.
Yeah, he's almost there a little bit too early, isn't he? And he has to almost wait and then use all the power in those neck muscles to then kind of generate the power, gets the direction into that far corner. Doesn't get too many, David Turnbull. Don't see him in that position too often inside the 18-yard box, but
it's funny you say that, Danny. That's only his second goal for Cardiff in 60 appearances.
Yeah, and he was someone when he was at Celtic who used to get a lot more goals, and certainly from distance from outside the box, but we haven't really seen that in the Cardiff City shirt. But he just goes into that position. It's a brilliant header.
Now then, goalkeeper Nathan Trott is back on his feet, and Cardiff have got to be absolutely sure he's okay, because he could be busy in the last 10 minutes of this game, but he could be absolutely crucial, of course, in a penalty shootout as well. Joel Colwill is coming off for Cardiff here, and Alex Robertson, formerly of Manchester City, the Australian, is coming on in midfield. So Cardiff have made the change. 10 minutes to play, 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Great League Cup drama. This competition actually year after, I mean, everyone loves the FA Cup, obviously they do, but it really does produce some brilliant games, some great stories. Newcastle's win, obviously, in the in the competition last season. That was the subject of Sutton Death on the FPL podcast from BBC Sport, a little game we play every week with Chris Sutton and Statman Dave, League Cup winners and their managers. Chris Sutton was involved in that today. If you're a fantasy football player and you fancy a fantasy football podcast, then that BBC offering is out tomorrow. Every Wednesday, the FPL podcast from BBC Sport.
Yeah, we've got the best cup competition in the world for sure.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
The FA Cup being the Premier one, and it's that kind of hope, it's that expectation, isn't it? It's like the jeopardy.
Here's Salek on the turn for Cardiff. They fancy this now. Cardiff fans on their feet. Ashford running at retreating Chelsea defenders. Little slip pass with the left foot into the penalty area. Lay off back, driven by MG straight at Jorgensen, who makes a relatively easy save, and then he's immediately on his feet and bowling the ball out underarm to try and get Neto away down the right-hand side. Another good move from Cardiff, cutting Chelsea open. Proper game on here, end-to-end at the moment. Neto running in from the right-hand side. So much quality, though, in this Chelsea attack. So much danger out there for Cardiff as well, if they do get a little bit carried away and chase it in the late stages. And why wouldn't you in this sort of atmosphere as well? There's Garnacho on the left, couple of step overs. Caicedo's involved, 40 yards from the Cardiff goal. Into Joao Pedro, looking for the layoff. Finds Santos across to Neto, drives it low, and scores! Now that took a slight deflection, but he hit it so well and so true that Nathan Trott couldn't keep it out, and that is the quality that Chelsea possess. Into the last 10 minutes of the cup tie, Chelsea were stunned by Cardiff. They have responded, they are back in front. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, and you have to say, it's just brilliant play by Chelsea. They probe, they work it really well on the edge of that Cardiff City 18-yard box. Cardiff City have plenty of bodies back there, but it's intricate from Chelsea. Initially the ball into Joe Pedro, he holds it up. Little ball laid off to, I think it was Gittins, and then a little ball laid off again to this right-hand side to Neto, and he takes the strike on in his weaker right foot. Probably would have been saved by Nathan Trott. Takes that deflection off Bagan, who's trying to block the shot. He just opens his legs and just takes a nick off the inside of that left leg and low into that far corner.
Yeah, you're right, Danny. I think Trott saves that. I think Trott saves that if it doesn't get the deflection. Bagan has to try and make the block. He gets really unlucky. It glances the heel of his left boot, takes it away from Trott, and Neto has found the bottom corner, and Enzo Maresca is very, very grateful indeed. And there's the classic manager point. 4 fingers to the temples. Switch on, lads. Still some football to be played. Great flick on by Salek. Here we go. Cardiff attacking down the left. Willock on the ball, down by the byline, stands the cross up into the middle of the box, headed away, volleyed down into the ground. Oh my goodness, Turnbull again, looping onto the roof of the net, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Now, what's Enzo Maresca getting exercised about here? He wants to make a change, and he's unhappy that his backroom staff haven't got this organised in time. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2. And he is bringing on Trevor Chalobah, who I think is Chelsea's most reliable centre-back at the moment, Danny. So this very much is a move. Right, we've got the lead again, let's shore it up, let's get out of here with a win.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Achapong is coming off, so will Chalobah come on and play right back?
Let's have a look.
Looking that way.
Yeah, it is. Chalobah right, still tossing and Badiashile. League One leaders Cardiff giving this a right good go, as we knew they would against Chelsea, currently 4th in the Premier League. But it's Chelsea who lead 2-1 with 6 minutes plus added time remaining. Can Cardiff fashion themselves another chance? Chambers back to Trott, closed down quickly by Garnacho, curls the ball behind the Argentine winger. Across to Dylan Lawler, low pass, great pass up the inside right channel. Challenge on Robertson. Cardiff up for the battle here, looking to win the 50-50s. Chelsea have it though on the left with Hatto. Holds off Ashford, makes his way past Robertson, continues his run. Garnacho feeds in the ball. Hatto tries to burst into the area. Cardiff have got it covered, cleared up towards Salek, who's pretty much on his own there, and he's lost it. And here's Gusto, chased by Salek, who sensibly decides to stop the pushing and the tugging so as not to concede the free kick, and Chelsea work it back to their goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. 5 minutes to play. 5 Live Sport tonight on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, with 2 more League Cup ties coming your way on 5 Live and Sports Extra tomorrow, and Ashes Cricket, of course, coming your way on Sports Extra tonight. Coverage starts at 5 to 11. Is there going to be a twist in the tail here? Caicedo to Chalobah. Chalobah back to Tosin, closed down by Salek, inside the Chelsea half, across to Badiashile. Hatto on the left, first time ball to Garnacho, back to Hatto. A couple of blue shirts quickly around him. Finds Badiashile and goes back to Jorgensen again. Cardiff going to try and summon one last effort, and the fans are going to help them every step of the way. Bagan volleys the ball up towards Turnbull, immediately under pressure from Gusto, who knew that was going to be difficult to control and keep. Willock does well, runs away from Chalobah on the left. Chalobah's back to him now, level with the Chelsea penalty area, flicks it back to the Cardiff goalscorer Turnbull, cross into the box, concentration there, everything from Badiashile as he clears on the half volley. Good job done by Caicedo in midfield, wins it for Chelsea, finds Neto in space on the right. Neto running at tiring Cardiff defenders. Santos nearly loses his balance as he receives the pass across to Garnacho into the area. Cut back here towards João Pedro, takes a touch, hits the shot, blocked, the ball spins up in the air. Bagan nods it to his left, Willock is there, tries to clear it, Chalobah blocks, Willock gets the next touch, Chalobah's got it covered, thought about letting it run out for a throw and decided not to.
Yeah, it's a difficult one for Cardiff City now, because you have to try and get some concerted kind of pressure on, you have to throw a bit more kind of caution to the wind, but with the quality that Chelsea have and maybe the energy levels just dropping a little bit now with this Cardiff City team, it's very difficult to do that, and then there's the fear of kind of getting picked off again and conceding a third one.
Playing some great football still, Cardiff here. Chambers across to Lawler. Chelsea will know they have been in a game. They're looking to make it back-to-back wins ahead of the trip to Newcastle on Saturday. Enzo Maresca could really do with that, although I can still see the questions coming about his comments after this game, because after what he said and then wouldn't reveal yesterday, journalists are not going to give that up too easily. Trott clears with his left foot. Chalobah wins the header for Chelsea. We're into the 88th minute here. Turnbull's been caught inside his own half. Chambers is there though, turns and goes back to his goalkeeper Nathan Trott, and Trott is able to bring the ball out to the edge of his penalty area. Got Chambers available to his left. João Pedro sighs and thinks, right, that's more chasing I've got to go and do. Comes running across, then stops in front of Chambers, who immediately passes it back to Trott. Late change coming for Cardiff here. Will Fish, the centre-back, is going to come on. Long ball is headed away, and G misses his kick there, and it runs to Garnacho. He plays back to Gusto. Gusto to Santos in midfield, and Chelsea are heading for another League Cup semi-final at the moment, with goals from Garnacho and Neto in the second half. They've given the ball away. What can Cardiff do with this? Alex Robertson on the halfway line. Little 1-2 with Wintle. Bagan is there in space on the left. Neto's in front of him. Bagan just teases Neto, rolls the ball under the studs of his left boot a couple of times. Back it comes to Chambers. Cardiff steeling themselves for this last assault on the Premier League defence of Chelsea. That's a tired pass to Chambers, couldn't control it, goes out for a throw into Chelsea attacking position on the right. Danny Gabidon.
Just looked tired there, didn't he? The Cardiff City captain stretching for that ball as well. It was slightly off from Wintle, but a tired kind of stretch to try and control that ball from Callum Chambers. And look, they put a lot into this Cardiff City team. And they've been excellent, given a great account of themselves. And what do they have left? With a few minutes left, can they summon another half chance maybe?
There's the attendance tonight. That is almost rammed full. 33,027. I think the capacity, if it's allowed to get to that, is 33,280. So very, very close tonight. Will Fish is on. We're in the 90th minute of this cup tie. We're staying on air through until 10:30 with 5 Live Sport tonight. When we'll get reaction to this game, we'll look ahead to the next 2 ties tomorrow night. Manchester City, Brentford kicks off at 7:30. Full commentary in 5 Live Sport. Newcastle, Fulham kicks off at 8:15. Commentary of that one will start on Sports Extra, and you can hear all the reaction and the preview material in the Football Daily podcast on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow morning. Ball is headed away from the Cardiff half. João Pedro flicks it up in the air. 6 minutes here for Cardiff to try and find an equaliser. Chelsea have given them the ball. Ashford might have been fouled there. Cardiff allowed to continue playing. Here's Robertson on the right. Good run made by Lawler on the outside. Try to find Robertson again. but couldn't. Badiashile chips the ball away. Garnacho, loose header. Gusto is there though. Clears with his left foot, just thumps it downfield. And Brian Barry Murphy, the Cardiff boss, trying to get some late instructions onto the field if he can make himself heard in this din. Chambers on the ball for Cardiff, summons some energy there to run away from Joao Pedro. Bagan, clever pass over the top to find Willock. Willock is away from Chalabar, into the penalty area on the left. There's the cross into the box, might fall to Bagan on the edge of the box. Little sideways pass here into the penalty area. Challenge on Ashford, the ball was taken. The referee immediately makes that circular motion with his hands to say no foul. Joao Pedro is down, and he is fouled, and that is a free kick for Chelsea. No VAR. We'll have a look at the replay. I do think the referee's got that one right. Let's have a look, Danny. Yeah.
Tackle. Andre Santos had to get it right though, because he's coming from the wrong side. Ashford inside the 18-yard box. Clever little layoff from Joel Bagan. He's coming from the wrong side as Ashton's looking to take the ball onto his right foot and get a strike away. And that is a really well-timed tackle. Had to be.
Right, 4.5 minutes to go of added time. Chelsea that close to a place in the semi-finals of this season's Carabao Cup, and it will mean that the winner will have to come from the Premier League. Those two ties tomorrow, and then Arsenal Crystal Palace will play their quarter-final next Tuesday. First leg of the semi-final in the week beginning the 12th of January. Second leg in the week beginning 2nd of February. Fans always love that. Badiashile took the free kick and fell over. Chip ball into Joao Pedro, heads it down to himself, gets the shot away just over the bar. He was waiting for that to come down. He couldn't wait any longer. Tall man, actually, did well to get his foot wrapped round the ball, but just couldn't keep the shot down.
Yeah, brilliant running behind. Brilliant the way he kind of got the ball down and used his body strength just to hold off. I think it was Callum Chambers there. And as you say, the ball just wouldn't kind of come down quick enough. No more than maybe 5-6 yards out on a slight angle. He's just waiting for that ball to come down to hit it on the volley. Just doesn't come down quick enough and can't keep the strike down.
3.5 minutes to go. Cardiff looking to create an opportunity, a chance to have a strike on goal, to give themselves a chance of scoring the equaliser that would take us to penalties. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2. Santos flicks his header into the Cardiff half. Joao Pedro chests it down, releases Garnacho, ball's in front of him, curling effort. Oh, brilliant finish! Beyond Trott's left hand, that seals it for Chelsea. They're into the semi-finals. Alejandro Garnacho has his second, and Chelsea's quality tells again. Deft touch from Joao Pedro to release Garnacho. He was moving at speed, but he opened his body up, curled the finish into the far corner. Cardiff have given it a great go tonight. No shame in being beaten by this Chelsea team, but that is what's going to happen. Cardiff fans on their way out. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 3.
And no shame really from a Cardiff City perspective, conceding the third. It just comes from from a long ball forward. It gets headed back. Chelsea pick up that second ball, and it's a ball just flipped in behind Will Fish. Garnacho with a great run, and he's desperately trying to get back. It's almost like a little scoop finish to the left of Nathan Trott from Garnacho. It's a brilliant finish in the end. Just scoops it past that left hand into that far corner. Great pace, great run from Garnacho to get in behind. Will Fish not able to get back at him.
It's the difference between the two teams, of course. You know, Joao Pedro signed for 60 million in the summer from Brighton. Alejandro Garnacho 40 million. That's £100 million worth of talent, creating a goal against a tired League One team late in the game. Enzo Maresca made the 11 changes, had the quality on the bench. That quality is told in the end. But I'm not going to forget, Danny, I'm not going to forget that Turnbull goal for a long time and the noise the Cardiff fans made when his diving header hit the roof of the net. But credit to Chelsea, actually, for dealing with that, responding and scoring a couple of goals.
Yeah, you have to give them credit. As you mentioned, ABB, the quality that Chelsea have, the money that they spent, Cardiff City Scrooge-like in comparison. Garnacho, clinical, he's come on, 2 chances, 2 goals. Unbelievable.
You've got Scrooge and the Grinch in tonight. Are you having a little game tonight, Danny? You're trying to get as many in as you can?
Quite possibly. Are you after?
Busted him late on. Free kick into the penalty area. Jorgensen comes flying through the air and punches it away. Over on the right for Cardiff is Ashford. Little back heel, cross is driven in straight at Jorgensen, who catches it. Chelsea man down, flat on his back inside the penalty area. Minute to play in the game.
The dream is over for Cardiff tonight. They will concentrate on trying to get themselves back in the Championship. But again, a game like this brings a national audience on the radio, on the television. Lots of good stuff has been said about Cardiff this season. I've seen it for myself tonight, Danny. It's fun being a Cardiff fan again, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's been a long time coming. There's been some difficult moments, but the reset has been very good. There's been a lot of positives off the back of relegation for this club. Great opportunities for some of these young players tonight, kind of test themselves against top opposition. And I think Brian Barry Murphy said himself before the game, there'll be so much they can learn and kind of take from this game, whether they kind of win or lose. Obviously, the main thing is to kind of get promotion back to the Championship. But it's just great to see the Cardiff City Stadium full.
Yeah.
And, seeing the team perform so well.
Great noise tonight, great game. Cardiff have played some great football, and Chelsea have dealt with everything that Cardiff have thrown at them, and I'm expecting the full-time whistle to blow any second. Gusto volleys the ball forward, Fish is there, side foots a volley away, and there we go. Chelsea are through to the semi-finals of the League Cup. Premier League beats League One, but they were certainly given a run for their money. Enzo Maresca made the double change at half-time. It made a difference. Alejandro Garnacho scored the first. The moment of the night was the Cardiff equaliser that got them back in the game. David Turnbull's flying header directed past Jorgensen into the top corner. But what a response from Chelsea. Pedro Neto with the goal to get them back in front, and Alejandro Garnacho winning the game. As you say, Danny, so much for Cardiff to take from it, but actually for Enzo Maresca, given his comments after the Everton game at the weekend, important win for him tonight, and actually his players did him proud there.
They did. Professional performance. I don't quite think Chelsea are at their best, probably in third gear at times, and maybe you get that level of performance as well when you make so many changes. But off the back of the comments, and you know, hearing Enzo Maresca speak before the game, he knew how difficult this game could be. You know, he knew how Cardiff City have been playing, the confidence that they've been kind of playing with. So he knew this wasn't going to be an easy game, and there was some difficult moments at times for this Chelsea team. But you have to say they stood firm defensively on the whole. I thought they were pretty good. And then he has the ability, the quality on the bench, you know, to be able to bring on the likes of Garnacho, Neto. You know, if games are tight, with the quality that they have, they can settle them, and that's what we saw second half.
Yeah, Danny's given us the Grinch, he's given us Scrooge. I'm going to say an early Christmas present for Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's place in the last four of the League Cup. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 3. Kelly.
Ali, you know that there's been a more organised effort than just Danny throwing Christmas phrases out there.
I did not know that, Kelly. Go and let me in on the little game.
Well, there's been a points total. There's been a running points total. Danny's been playing Christmas bingo.
Okay.
So, Danny, you've got early Christmas present. You also got gift wrapped in, so I think you got that in twice, didn't you?
I don't know, all right, Kelly, to be fair. I think I got most of them, to be honest.
You've got Merry and Bright. You've got No Room at the Inn.
I remember that one. I thought that was an odd one at the time.
You got Grinch and Scrooge. I think, do you know the one I think you missed out on?
The five-pointer.
What was that?
The Ghost of Christmas past, present, or future.
Oh, wow.
That's hard to integrate that into a commentary. No?
Maybe when we were doing sort of Keith Houchin or Scolari or something like that, you could have made that is tough, actually.
I'll take it, though.
That was the only answer to. Listen,
was it to see how long it would take me, Kelly? Because that nearly took me the entire game.
But the harder they got, the more points that Danny got. So he got, 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9. Got 10 points.
Oh, well played.
I'll take it.
Well played. Very good. Very good.
Listen, more importantly,
yes.
Look, Cardiff are beaten in that. Chelsea go through to the semi-finals. We will be able to talk more about that performance in a more rounded way, certainly from Cardiff's point of view, between now and 10:30. But in the end, it was that strength of squad that told for Chelsea.
For sure. You know, he has that luxury, Enzo Maresca, of being able to field a totally different team for the cup competitions, which will, of course, will benefit them in the Premier League as well as the season goes on. And I think you saw that hindered them a little bit as well in terms of kind of fluidity. You know, at times players not quite on the same wavelength, particularly in that first half. But you know, to have those kind of weapons, the insurance policy as well off the bench to bring on if the game wasn't quite going their way, which it probably wasn't in the first half, and that quality kind of showed in the second half. Garnacho with 2 kind of clinical finishes, Neto as well, a little bit of luck with a deflection on his strike, but but the quality kind of told in the end. But look, from a Cardiff City perspective, though, I thought they give a great account of themselves. For them to be able to play against kind of top-level opposition and still play the way they kind of want to, and cause the opposition problems at times to get themselves back into a game with a fantastic goal from David Turnbull. There'll be a lot of positives that the manager can kind of take from that. And for them now, obviously, it's back to the league, which is the bread and butter for them. Really important for them to get promotion back to the Championship for next season. But it's been a really good night. Even though they've got beaten 3-1, I think the fans will go home really happy. And as I say, I think the players will still feel really good kind of coming off the pitch. Will have enjoyed the occasion. And as I said, I think the manager will take a lot from it as well. He'll be delighted with the performance from his team.